To another awesome video. Today we're going to do something very different today, and to kick off not necessarily 2026 per se, as I'm trying to make sure that Milo doesn't do anything stupid and make a mess of things, since my whole room is still a slight mess, but you know, I gotta deal with it for now, and it's in the process of things. And he's persistent, he wants to leave. Yes, I'm talking about you. But today we're going to do something very different. So, I had originally planned this as an idea to do as a milestone. This would have been the milestone videos leading up to, like, the road to the 1000th video. So, for those of you that are new to the channel or don't know, I have this character that I've created, and I've had this character since 2021, named Spider-Star. Now, I have like videos on like his origin and some of the rogues gallery and some of the other characters and things like that, and for a while that's all I really had, was just my notepad, my notebook, my composition notebook of just, hey, here's this character and here's his origin and here's some other things. I never had anything written down until we flash forward to 2024, and someone I knew, who, I don't know if she's still a viewer or not, but she was a friend of mine, and she was like, hey, why don't you write a story about your character and, you know, flesh him out and, you know, do some Wattpad. And I was like, okay. So I gave it a shot, and so we flash forward to now, 2026, and I've already have 2 stories for this character, and there's plenty of more stories I have planned for this guy, but right now there's only 2 years. So year 1, and we're almost finished with year 2, and then I have other plans for other years that I will, like, you know, I'll play catch up with. Like 2023 will be year 3, 2024 will be year 4, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So I want to do a read along for you guys, and you're probably thinking to yourself, why? Well, I don't know, why not? And I figured to kind of do it as a live stream, and for all of you to maybe follow along, and either if you want to just hear me read this entire thing, or if you want, there is a link to, I don't know if I'll have it now, but if you guys want, I'll have a link in both the description of this, and I'll have a link in the chat to the Wattpad story itself, so you guys can follow along and maybe read along if you want. If not, you'll listen to me doing this kind of like a la podcast style, if you will. But welcome, Pyrogun. Yeah, Pyrogun. I don't know why I was like, I sat there and I went Pyrogun. Yeah, welcome. I'm gonna do this whole big read along live stream we're gonna do, and I'm gonna try and, you know, do it. I'm gonna do a quick little like summary, synopsis, and then what we'll do is then, like, in the next couple minutes, I'm gonna just read the entire thing. Oh, who was on the bendy? Oh, yeah. Okay, what's up? It's been a minute, but yeah, no, we're gonna do a read along. Let me set up a few things, and then we're gonna do the. I don't know if we're gonna do the entire year 1, because I will give you guys a heads up that this entire story I've typed up on Wattpad has over 80 chapters. So depending on how many we get through, we might get through 40, we might get through 20. This might be all in one stream. This might be just in 4 streams. It might be in 7 streams. I don't know. Right now I just want to do this and then see how it goes, and then take it from there. And then maybe we'll come back to it. If more people want to hear more about it, then I'll bring it back, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So yeah, I have a very creative brain. I have a lot of, like, I put a lot into this, and I have lots of ideas for the future for this character. But to give you an idea, this takes place, like, year 1 takes place in the year 2021. So literally I kind of based it around and inspired it around the idea of when I came up with this character, which was back in 2021. And then I decided to start typing and start making a Wattpad account in 2024. So now here we are in 2026. And like I said, what is it? Year 2 is so close to being done. It's just slowly coming together. It's slowly but surely coming together. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But let me just do a few little quick tune-ups, and then we're gonna get the ball rolling. And I think every 30 minutes I will take a break, and I'll maybe like see if you guys have any questions, anything you want me to like comment on or whatever, then I will do so. But I'll have like 30 minutes of like me reading, and then I'll stop and then take a break, and then we'll get back to it again and all this other stuff. But if you want pyro gun, if you want to, since you're the first one here and the only one here so far, if you want to instruct anyone that is, you know, unaware of like, hey, what's going on? Why is he not reading the chat? Maybe you can be the one that says, hey, this is what he's doing right now, is he's reading a story, and then we're gonna all basically follow along, I guess. But let me see if we can find, there's a thumbnail I want, and then there's I need to find the Wattpad link to year 1 on my app here, because I have it pulled up on my computer to read, but I'm not gonna do it on my phone. I think it'd be better. Well, let me think. I guess it really doesn't matter. I was kind of thinking I'd read it on my laptop, but maybe my phone would be better. I'm not entirely sure. I had this all planned out of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna 100% read on my computer. So now I'm thinking, I'm wondering now. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let me just see something. I guess it doesn't work as a thumbnail. Well, actually no, I kind of like that. That's not bad. I kind of like that. That's fine. And we'll put that here. And then I'm gonna at least send the thing for it. Wait, hold on. Since when is there an Avengers Tower? And right. I guess it's been here. I don't know how long, but it's been there for some time, which I discovered in one of my episodes, and I was really happy to found. There's a short I have on that I found the tower, and that's from that episode when I all of a sudden, it was during the DLC, if I remember correctly. Spider-Star's origin, lore, and universe. So we're gonna do that, and then let me find the link to it real quick. And I think in like 2 minutes we're gonna start reading. And like I said, if you guys want to follow along, I will have it both in the description in just a second, and also I'm gonna have it in the chat for you guys if you want to. If you guys don't have to follow along, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to do so. Let me not. Can I go away? Can that go away for a second? I'm trying to. Okay, good. I forgot I was in the midst of reading something at one point on my actual Wattpad, which that's for another story and for another time. But let me get the link, and then we're gonna start getting going. And I have no idea how long we'll go until. I have no idea how long we'll stream. We'll see. Maybe I'll stream for like 2 hours, and then I might stop there. We'll see. We shall see. But let me put it first in the description for you guys, and you can refresh the stream, and then you'll see it underneath the description. And if you want to follow along, you guys don't have to follow along. If you want to, you're more than welcome to. But if you don't, that's okay. I'm not gonna hold a gun to you guys and say, hey, you gotta follow along. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have that. And then Brandon, if you want, you can be my eyes and ears, or Pyro Gun, be my eyes and ears if someone comes in and I'm in the midst of reading something. Be like, hey, this is what's happening. I don't know, like kind of like paraphrase it or something. Can I bookmark it? Can I bookmark my own comment? I mean, pin it? Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's much better. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to do this because I wanted this to be like a nice milestone of, because I had this in mind to be a milestone leading up to the road to my 1000th video, which, by the way, there is already my 1000th video. We're already at 1,000 and something videos, but at the time, before November of 2025, I was like, oh, this would be a great idea, you know, the road to do some interesting experimental stuff, you know, do this, do my short film, do all this other things. So I had all these in mind, and next thing you know, the holidays were like around the corner, and I was like, this is not gonna work in my favor. So you know what, I postponed it, and I pushed it for like, okay, one of these days I'd get to it. And I thought about, literally yesterday I recorded a collab requested video I did with Tom. We played Speedstorm, which I'll have an annotation to that, or you can check that out later. But dude, please don't. You guys can check that out whenever. But I was like, what can I stream next? And everyone was asking me privately, like, hey, when's the next stream and what will be the next stream? I thought to myself, you know what? I was like, as much as we can go back to Ace Attorney and Kingdom Hearts, let me just start off with this for the new year, kick it off in terms of streams, and then we'll see and take it from there. But without further ado, I think I'm just going to read off my computer because I have it pulled up anyways, just for now. We're going to follow along. Like I say, if you guys want to follow along, be my guest. If not, this is going to be like a whole like podcast type of thing. But I don't know without, there's no big like grand introduction, but this is what's going to be of year 1 of Spider-Star story. Things have been very settled down for some time, living with my Uncle Paul and Aunt Elaine. They will never replace my parents, but they have been doing their best to support me in my dream. Ever since I was little, and knowing my parents were famous actors, Robin and Mary Williams, I always wanted to follow in their footsteps, enjoying the film industry. Whereas my parents were actors and actresses, I want to make the movies. That's why I joined the internship for the movie director Steven Senderes. He's made all sorts of movies, from one about science fiction and time travel, to one on dinosaurs, to another one on archaeology, and even dramatic ones like about Auschwitz and the camps. It's only been my first or second day, but things have been smooth for me. It was 1 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday, March 13th, 2021, as Andrew woke up in and did his first normal routine, his normal routine, getting dressed. Can you tell I'm not prepared? Or maybe I am slightly. Getting dressed, having breakfast, and brushing his teeth to get ready for college and his internship. His Uncle Paul was getting ready for his job as an animal trainer, kissing his sweet, snarky, and yet sometimes sassy Elaine goodbye. Actually, no, I don't need to really read my own asterisks or actions. Take it easy today, Andrew. I will. Uncle Paul left the house, and Andrew came downstairs, seeing Aunt Elaine sipping on something. Enjoying your cup of joe, Aunt Elaine? No, just tea today. You're not working today? Nope. Today is my lucky day. I get to have the house all to myself, or at least for the next 7 hours. You're living the dream. You have your occupation of working for a big company while Uncle Paul plays with pets. I'm the reason he has that job. And if I wasn't working for the business I work at, he wouldn't be keeping that job. Sometimes it's moments like this I'm thankful I have such good caretakers like my aunt and uncle. So how do you feel about your internship so far, Mr. Hollywood? Whoa, I'm not there yet, but it's pretty smooth so far. The only thing is there's this guy named Jared. I get the feeling he doesn't like me. Maybe he hates his job. Andrew sighs, unsurely whether to feel bad that already people hate him or to feel concerned about his fellow writer and coworker. Listen, we can't control how people act and feel towards ourselves. Just be yourself and don't let anyone bring you down, Andy. You're right. In moments like this, I feel very grateful to have, and I get to cherish with my aunt and uncle. Always to help lift my spirits. You should know by now I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm always right. Okay. Let me make breakfast and get going. As he got up and started whipping up eggs for the both of them. You want your usual sunny side up? Nah, just make them like yours. Andrew then went to making both eggs scrambled. 20 minutes later had passed, and Andrew got himself back upstairs to brush his teeth, grab his stuff, and head out the door. But not before giving his aunt a goodbye hug, and he left the house with 20 minutes to spare since he had to be there at 8 o'clock. Andrew arrived at right on time for his internship. As he gazed up at the studio lots, no matter how many times I see these lots and seeing these buildings, it puts me in awe, knowing that I get to work with these people and work in these facilities. Andrew Williams was greeted by Richard Zucker, the producer that works with Steven Senderes. He's at least 20 years older than him, since Andrew is turning 20 this year. Morning, Andrew. Hey, Richard, is Steven not in? no, he's fine. He just wants me to bring you inside, and I'll be teaching a bit of things today. Just as they were heading his class, he caught a glimpse another room, a room surrounded by lights, from strobe lights to gaffers, photography lights, and three-point lights, a green screen, and and a corner, no, in the center of it all was a gorgeous 21-year-old student, her eyes like stars shimmering in the sky, her hair as beautiful as silk, a smile that lights bigger and more than any of those lights that were spotted on her, posing so gracefully and delicately for the cameraman. I stood there for a second, but what felt like forever. Luckily, Mr. Zucker woke me up so I wouldn't make it awkward. Who was that? That was Miss Ramirez. Now let's move along, Williams, before you make it even more awkward. After a few hours of taking notes on lighting and different types of cuts, and then actually getting to use a video camera, I was getting a text from my best friend, Fred James Howard, but we all know him as Freddy. Alright, so this is the text, of course. Hey bud, you on your way here? Yeah, of course. Just got down for the day over here and heading to the college now. Luck was on my side today. I just had enough minutes to drive to school. I like to make sure I'm on time for stuff. You can never be too early, but you can never be too late sometimes. As I was making my way to my car, and I didn't see that Ramirez girl. It's a shame. I wouldn't mind if I got her name, or maybe her number, if I'm lucky. But I hope I see her again. I may not have seen that beautiful diamond in the rough Ramirez, but I did see my good friend Adriana, on my way to the car. Freddie and I have known Adriana for quite a bit, almost as much as I've known Freddie, but didn't think I'd see Adriana here. Hey, Adriana! Oh, hey, Andrew. For a second, it felt like she didn't remember me, but like I mentioned, it's been since high school since I saw her, so I can't blame her. I see you got into your dream job. Will I be seeing movies with them saying directed by Andrew Williams? Well, not yet at least. However, I am interning for a very famous director. You might have heard of him. Oh, never mind. Steven Senderas? Oh, wow, that's so awesome. Isn't he the one that made that movie, Flying into the Future? Andrew gave a affirmative yet happy nod. Well, I'm glad you're getting to work with one of your favorite filmmakers. Should we get going? Oh, yeah, me too, but how's the invention coming along? Oh, baby, I'm going to show those men in camo and their flyboys and yayas that what I can offer for them will change special forces and technology as we know it. I'm halfway done with it, and then wait until they see. Well, good luck to you, and great running into you. You too. He got in his car and headed to school/college, and Adriana kept on moving forward. Andrew arrived to Midtown University around 12:30 p.m. There was Freddie waiting for him by his parking spot as always. Freddie has been my best friend for years now. It's kind of hard to keep track of how long it's been. I've known him almost my whole life. He's like the brother I never had from another mother and a father, of course. Freddie, you're not gonna believe who I just saw by the studio lots. You remember Adriana Toombs? Really? Why would she be there? Unless my father is suddenly funding the government and the military, which I wouldn't put it past him. It's interesting that your internship is next to the lot my dad funds. I know. Small world, but I heard that lot is working on a movie about giant spiders. Kind of taking back to the old school with practical and like those B-rate movies. I heard they're going to use actual spiders. I know. I just hope my dad doesn't get himself in trouble. We are brought to studio lot number 222, where Richard Howard is discussing of this spider movie with the board members, cast and crew, and some of his colleagues at his company, Howard Enterprise. Are we sure this is a good idea, let alone illegal? Yes, Tobias, I'm certain of what I'm doing, and as long as we have the board members at ease, We should be fine. Yes, but experimenting with radiation on these spiders? That's why I left that part out. We are using practical methods with these spiders. Plain and simply, besides, if the radiation kills these spiders, now we know and we can call them casualties. Also, Mrs. Davis said spiders are safe to use. But she's saying that because she studies mainly bees rather than spiders. I take her word very seriously. I think you should too, let alone take my word for it. Back at the Midtown University, Andrew was in his English 3, English 4 class. He was sitting next to a 5'4" girl wearing black, comfy pants, and grayish looking beanie with green eyes. He couldn't help but notice she was done with her notes and was doing what looked like scribbling or drawing. It was hard to make out with her arms covering her desk. Say, I don't mean to be nosy or anything, but you're done with your notes already? Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a fast learner, but I just did it quicker and less. Besides, everyone learns differently at their own pace. That's true. Say, what are you doodling there? This character who kind of looks like a princess, but she can also turn into a dragon. Whoa, that's pretty sick. Well, in a good way, sick, but you get it. Yeah, what's your name, Mr. Questionnaire? Name's Andrew. Esther Gyllenhaal. My brother is all the way over there. Points to the front of the class, and both Andrew and Esther are looking in the back, but not too far in the back. He's more studious than me. I like to learn, but a lot of what we've learned isn't going to give us a lot of experience in life, lessons in life. Like, when am I ever going to need to pull out calculus when I'm drawing? Fair point, but I think you're right. You think I'm right? There was a hint of change in her tone and pitch, going from her very monotone to a bit of both surprise but excitement in her voice. With a reassuring and confident smile, I'm very positive. Heck, I'm more into experience than the arts myself too. I want to make movies. Interesting. Because I actually wanted to be an animator. Well, hey, I can always need one of those. They both laughed, somewhat quietly. But what are you doing here, when your talent should be elsewhere? Fortunately, Jake, I can't afford it at the moment, and if I'm being honest, our parents aren't the richest horses in the race. Well, I hope one day you get to express those talents you have there, Esther. Maybe one day I will, she said with a slight smile in her tone, as Andrew returned with the smile back. The rest of the day goes by, and we now see and witness Andrew sitting at the table and eating dinner with his Aunt Elaine and Uncle Paul. So, how was your day of having the house to yourself? Well, it went nicely, I'd say, except I found that our toilet is acting up. I'll have to take a look at it. Yeah, but you think you should get a plumber to take a look? No, wait. You think we should get a plumber to take a look? If it makes that noise for a second or third time, I'll just check things out. But I don't mind if we have someone look at it. I mean, if worse comes to worse, Uncle Paul can take a look, see if it keeps doing it, and then call someone. See? Andrew trusts my intuition. Uncle Paul gives his wife a smug smirk at her. She just rolls her eyes, looked back at him, and then just laughed along with him. Say, how did you guys meet? Should I tell him? Or at least my version, which is the right version? Aunt Elaine was being smug. But who tells it better? He then proceeded to point at himself. I met your uncle through a buddy of his, Harvey McNulty. Harvey McNulty still thinks we should thank him for putting us together. As if. As if. Anyways, he introduced us while at a party. I knew him because we worked together at the time, and Paul knew him because they went to high school and college together. I looked at your uncle and thought, man, this guy is such a clown, but I think I'm in love with this clown. Placed her hand on top of Paul's hand, and he did the same back to her. I know this story already. I've heard this at least 6 times or so, but I enjoy hearing it every single time. Don't worry, superstar. You'll find. Don't worry, superstar. You'll find that some special someone. Well, it's kind of funny you bring that up. Ooh, who is she? What's she like? When's the wedding? Aunt Elaine. I just saw her in another classroom. I didn't catch her name, or other than her last name is Ramirez. Ooh, just be yourself. Be funny. Women like funny. I know, but I appreciate it, Uncle Paul, and you too, Aunt Elaine. It was the next day. Oh my gosh, I just realized I should really fix this and edit this. I didn't realize it. Anyways, it was the next day, March 14th. Oh, no, actually, no, that's right. Never mind. Scratch that. Don't listen to me right now. I was in the middle of taking notes from watching Steven Senderas and Richard Zucker at work doing their director and producer thing. After I got Steven a nice warm cup of tea from a local coffee and tea chain place, it was so cool watching them. I wanted to geek out so badly and so hard right now, but I tried to keep it a cool head. But suddenly I noticed or felt something, or should I say someone was eyeing me. There she was, that Ramirez girl. I wonder if she saw me watch her the other day and somehow found the studio/room I was in. I couldn't do anything till my time/shift was over. Plus, Stevens just said, quiet on set and action as the scene is playing out. But from the distance, I gave a quick glance at her. She looked right at me, like as if she was waiting for me to be done for the day. She also gave me such a pretty smile at me, and cute little wave to follow with that gorgeous smile as well. I gave a wave back. She gestured to me to come over to here. Come over to here. To her, I should have said. Jesus. I had to mouth to her, not right now. The girl wore glasses and a very bright yet adorable orange blouse/top of sort. Very tank top-ish, but not quite. She nodded at Andrew and understanding the situation as she stood there patiently and waited for Andrew. Actually, you know what? We could. This could be a good break for a minute. It's almost been 30 minutes. I can give a good quick break here. See what you guys are up to. Doom flag. What do you mean, doom flag? What do you mean? Let me catch up here. I'm gonna do. Actually, you know, this is good timing because I'll do 3 minutes of reading your guys' chats, and then after that, I'll get back to finishing up here. Which again, I don't think this will be all in one stream. I think the worst comes to worst, I'll maybe do up to 2 hours, maybe 2.5 max. So, let's see. I see May just made it to the chat, so appreciate that very much. Let's see. Thank you, by the way. You said congrats. I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Pyro Gun. I forgot to take a look at that. I was kind of in the midst of that. Let's see. Did I miss anything? But his parents are actors, and he lives with his aunt and uncle. Well, there's more that you'll find out about that. But let's just say for the time being, 2 things. One, that his parents aren't around. Let's just say his parents aren't around anymore. That's number 1. And number 2, if you are familiar with Spider-Man, if you're familiar with Peter Parker, I took some cues from his story. So if you know what happened with his parents, then there is a different spin on what happened with Andrew's parents. It's definitely different, for sure. But there'll be more details later on. And you'll see that, I think, not only in year 1, but definitely in year 2, and especially in year 3. There's gonna be a lot more that's gonna be more explored. So I have ideas in mind. If I got that right. No, you got that right. I see a doom flag. What do you mean a doom flag? Oh, I know what you mean. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. That's great. Okay. I think I know what that was about. Other word for something bad is gonna happen. Yeah. True. I mean, not true at all. I mean, absolutely not true at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I did. I'm not sure when Ace Attorney will be back, but we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm playing it day by day, as always, because as much as I said in my channel update that, hey, streams are coming back, reviews are coming back, videos are coming back, all that's coming back, it's gonna come in, like, not in in phases, but there'll be times where there'll be, you know, a lot of videos scheduled and in bulk, but then there'll be times where it's like there'll be streams maybe kind of like maybe frequently, maybe not as frequent. It all depends really. So like for the time being, I wanted to just see what would happen if I just this was me just basically saying, hey, let me go live and see what happens, and then after this stream I'll maybe go back to whatever it'd be, and you guys would vote as well. You guys would vote in the comments if it'd be Ace Attorney, if it'd be Kingdom Hearts, if it'd be Security Breach, or it'd be Dreamlight Valley, but we'll see how that plays out. That's why I was like, yesterday I literally sat there and I was doing the video with Tom, and I said, what should I stream? And then I was like, ooh, I know what I'll do, and this was what I was gonna do. So that way it'd be easier for me, and I couldn't decide in that moment, so I decided, let me just do this and take this out of like the vault, if you will. Alright, give me another minute, and then I'm going to get back to everything, so don't worry. I'll try not to do... Let's see. But yeah, I did say something about Ace Attorney. We'll see. I don't know if that'll be the first one. If people comment it the most, then sure. If not, then it'll be the next one. Yeah, you can ask me something. Go ahead, that's fine. Ask me something, Pyrogun. And then welcome, Batty. You're just, well, kind of not in time, but I'm just doing a whole, like, read-along podcast thing. If you want to follow along and read along with me, by all means. If not, then just listen to this, you know? But I've decided to do my whole, basically the whole story of Spider-Star, at least the first year of him being Spider-Star, in this stream. I don't think it'll be all in one stream, but at least just for now it'll be this. Did you complete it? Oh yeah, I finished the story. I have a whole playlist. There's a whole playlist of whatchamacallit, of my series we did of Spider-Man. I'll have that as well. I think someone remind me after the stream is over. Someone remind me at the end of this stream or when this stream is over, the annotations I want to put. Because right now, I'm just going to say this off the top of my head, and then I'm going to completely forget later on. But if someone can remind me later, the annotations I want to add at the end of this, which will probably, I'll have annotations to this, like, by tomorrow or something like that, because streams take a while to add annotations and edit and things like that, if I want to edit stuff and all that jazz. But anyways, the annotations I want to add at the end of this are the Spider-Man Insomniac playlist live series we did, which contains that plus the DLC. I wanted to add my channel update. I want to add my 1000th video, and then I want to add the playlist for my Spider-Star lore and origins and that jazz. So if someone can write that down, I'd appreciate that, and then come back to me and message me or like remind me at the end of this to put those in at some point, so that way I'll remember. But I'm trying to think there was something else I was just about to say, but I got distracted for a second. Oh yeah, no, I completed the story. The story's done. You can go check that out, Pyrogun, if you want after this. Literally, we did everything. And what's funny is that even with everything being done, there's still things to be done. Like the entire story and the DLC complete. Absolute fantastico, magnifico, and everything. But we're at still 62% because I'm still missing, you know, backpacks and suits and all this other stuff. Please don't sit on the wires or sit near the PlayStation, dude. You're not helping me right now. So please and thank you very much. Kill, try not to forget. Yeah, no. Oh, you said K, not try not to forget. Yeah, Keynut, thank you. Dude, if you're gonna do this, I'm gonna seriously lock you out. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Hold on. Either stay in here or stay out. Okay, fine. Sorry, bye. Usually I do this open, but he's kind of being stinky at the moment. And then yesterday, oh my gosh. Last thing, I swear. We're gonna get back to the story. Last thing, I swear. This is the last thing I'll mention. But I was seriously, like, if you go back and watch my Speedstorm video I just did, literally like an hour ago, almost 2 hours ago, I was playing Speedstorm, and then while I was playing Speedstorm, Stinky over there was trying to grab twisty ties because he likes playing with wires and twisty ties and shit. So I'm like, dude, you're being rude. So he was doing the same thing again to me. But anyways, yar, let's get back to everything else. Yeah, I know, minus the side missions. Literally minus the side missions. But anyways, okay. I'm just kidding. And scene. No. After Andrew was done, she stood there patiently. There she stood still patiently. I can't believe that she stood still. She still stood there, and she was waiting for me. Such beautiful hair. Her eyes so mesmerizing. A smile so sweet. It was I can. It was I can. It was a smile so sweet it was I can taste it from here. Her beauty and gorgeousness, so bright it lit up my way. I was a little bit excited but also nervous. What did she want from me? Did she see me the other day watching her? Does she like me? Am I getting my hopes up? But here it goes. Hello there, miss. Miss? Why'd I call her miss? Hey there, I'm Vanessa. I couldn't help but notice you're looking my way yesterday or the other day while I was doing my shoot. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. If it was pervy or trouble or distracting. No, it's okay. It's okay. I just wanted to say hi to you and introduce myself and meet the man that was being a bit perky. She smirked, teasing Andrew a bit. Even her laugh along with her voice was like butter. Well, I'm glad you didn't mind. Do you want to perhaps walk with me? He nodded yes and then began walking to her studio room for her session she was getting ready for. So what do you do exactly? Are you looking to be a model or something? Yes and no. Because of the type of girl I am, I want to show that girls and ladies like me can be beautiful and also to perhaps inspire others. But my main thing I want to do is do forensics. Wow, that's awesome. Good for you. Thank you. I go to Horizon U. I go to Midtown. It's good our schools aren't rivals. I'd hate for that, but I'm glad we talked. Me too. They reached Vanessa's room. So am I going to get your name at some point today? She gave another snarky but silly smirk, teasing him some more at how he has introduced himself. Oh yeah, and my name is Andrew Williams. Well, it was nice meeting you, Andrew. She signed her smile at him and went to business for her photo shoot. Oh, I thought so. I thought, speaking of, did I see? Aw, damn it, never mind. Oh well. Andrew then proceeded to leave and head to his car, which is his uncle's old '67 Dodge Dart convertible, and headed to school. Back at Studio Lot 22, Jesus, I really need to fix that, I just realized. Man. Richard Howard was sitting next to the movie director named Felix Barton as they were having the scene play out. The scene is a man and a woman sharing the screen. The man is comforting the woman. She was scared of something is going to happen, especially the giant chaotic spiders on the loose. But how will we do this? How are we going to survive? Don't worry, darling. I don't know if I can live like this anymore. Hey, even though things are very bleak right now, what's wrong with a little excitement and being on the run? The director shouted cut, and just in time as Tobias came back to speak to Richard. Sir, the board members are here. Okay, bring them in. But are you serious? Tobias, I've told you already, we can handle this. Handle what, Mr. Howard? Oh, handle what, Mr. Howard? Handle the production at the budget of this movie, of course. I heard a rumor that there might be some dangerous chemicals being used in... I've heard a rumor that there might be dangerous chemicals being used on your giant spiders. No chemicals at lodge here, my good sir. Don't you worry a thing. It's like we are doing giant rabbits. It's not like we're doing giant rabbits. You're right. It's a good thing because I'd hate to shut your production down, and more specifically, shut you down. As him and the rest of the board members left the set, be seeing you, Mr. Howard. Meanwhile, at Midtown University, both Freddie and Andrew were in advanced biology class. She's a model? Shh! I don't know. I just learned her name. Ugh, I'm starting to regret telling Freddie. But if She is, gives a smirk. What a dog you'd be. You'd hit the jackpot. Freddie, I roll my eyes and smirk and try not to chuckle. She's more than looks. She's intelligent, passionate, about inspiration and the way she talks. She's so radiant. I smile and I kind of blush just thinking and talking about her. Like she makes me feel like no other. It's crazy. I barely know her, and I feel like I felt very lucky to be in her presence. From what the sounds of it, you're made. So from what it sounds of it, you're made for each other. Maybe so. He went back to doing more of the notes, so the teacher would see that he's actually doing work. Hey, you're doing anything after school? Want to come over? Freddie, I have to do the same stuff as you. Yeah, but what about we work on our notes together? You know, it's not going to lead to that. Come on, buddy. Fine, but I could see if I can come over tomorrow. Deal. We are. Oh my. Okay, never mind. Jesus. We are back at the Parker residence. Parker residence? Whoa! Yeah, I need to fix this real quick. Give me a second to edit this shit. I didn't realize it. Oof. What? Give me a second here to fix this. Okay, we are back at the William residence, not the Parker residence. Damn. I really should actually go back and revisit this. I'm glad I actually am doing this, not only for my own sake and maybe for your guys' entertainment, but also I'm kind of looking back and going, damn, I didn't realize some of this stuff. We're back at the Williams residence. Uncle Paul was asleep after work. And if I can scroll back to the spot I was at. Was asleep after work as Andrew and Aunt Elaine sat there at the kitchen table. Elaine with a cup of coffee and Andrew with a nice glass of milk after eating a piece of coffee cake. I'm surprised you didn't see your cousin around. You don't see your cousin around. He doesn't work at the same he doesn't work at the same studio set as me. He told me personally about it. You can call him, or text him, or did he call you? Sometimes it's both. I'll call him sometimes, the other times I'll text, and then there's those times we will call or text. There are those times he will call or text me. Good. So, how'd it go, talking to the girl? It went pretty good. I learned her name and a little bit about herself. Well, at least it's progress. He then pondered for a slight moment. What if she doesn't like me for who I am? Or if I mess up something good between her and I? If it's meant to happen, just keep being yourself. You'll know. And even at your lowest, girls will still find you attractive. You might find it as a surprise, but vulnerability is an okay thing. From my experience, girls and women like a sensitive guy as long as they show a desire to keep going in the relationship. As long as you show dedication and commitment and want to be with a person. Us gals admire that and respect that. Really? Of course, we see that as if this man really does want to give up on what we have, then maybe if he really doesn't want to give up on what we have, then maybe he truly cares. That's called admiration. She smiles, always smiling to reassure her nephew. Thanks. Always. And if she doesn't like you that way, there's nothing wrong in friendship. I appreciate that. Later, after that delightful conversation, Andrew was in his room, chatting up with Fred on his phone. I can't believe you're still thinking about this Vanessa girl. With a smirk and a smug look, knowing how smitten his best friend is. You haven't been this head over heels about a girl since that redhead you knew in middle school and tried asking her out in high school. I don't know what it is about her. Yes, she's pretty, but it's like she likes me too, and I was even talking to my Aunt Elaine about this, and she thinks so too. Next time you see her, you should at least ask her out. Take it from me, or take it from there. But shouldn't I get to know her first? What's wrong with doing that while you're dating? Fair point. You see? Wingman Red Fred's back. He is so not. You say that, but trust me, this will work, unlike last time. If you say so. Trust the Fred head, Andrew. What am I gonna do with what am I gonna do without you? I don't know, but I gotta get going. I should check in on my dad. Take it easy tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow. You too, Andy. Peace. Both buddies hang up, but we go from Andy's room to Freddy's living room as he heard the sound of his father entering the door from a long day at work. Dad? There was a sense of concern in his tone of voice. What happened tonight? Don't worry about it, Freddy. I know you get long days, but look, you seem I just don't want you to get I just got worried, that's all. If I'm being honest, my father did seem out of it. I just knew, but a quick glance at him. I appreciate it, but please don't feel concerned for me. Fiddle, hit it. Thank you. It wasn't the board members Richard was worried about. He hadn't thought about that yet. That hasn't settled in his head. He was more worried and concerned about something. Perhaps something bigger. Or smaller. Earlier, before he came home from work, he went to a late night-ish check on the spiders to see if what results were from the radiation. He was there and noticed the spiders all dead, except one. It didn't have the results he was looking for. He was more expecting them to perhaps grow in size like Godzilla or half that size. But the results on this arachnid were that the radiation was seeping under its body, the green veins, just as he thought. His bacon was saved. The moment he called Barbara Davis and turned around, the spider was gone. Now, Richard had a dozen or so dead spiders. No giant spiders for his giant spider movie he was funding. And the one spider that was alive is gone missing. The next day, March 15th, Friday morning, Richard was driving Freddy to school. Dad, you don't have to take me to school. I can take my car. I've made sure to take care of it like you told me to. I'm well aware you can drive yourself, Freddy. I'm happy for you, but I just wanted to personally take you myself. I don't get to spend time with you as much as with work being always late. You know, having Bernard as company around the house, but I don't get to see you as much. Yeah, but there isn't really spending time in just 10 to 20 minutes, and you'd have to drop me off. Richard sighed, for his son wasn't wrong, and although he was telling the truth about how he wants to spend time with his son, he was doing this at the same time to stall time for himself. I'll tell you what, Freddy. Since tomorrow is the weekend, let's do something. I'll take off. We can do something. Or we can have Andrew over for a bit. Point is, you are important to me. Work can wait. Let's take the weekend off. Really? Really? No, really. As they were pulling into the college and they saw Andrew get out of his car, speaking of the devil, both Richard and Freddy get out of the car. Hey, Andy, he waves. Good to see you again, Mr. Williams. Mr. Howard, please call me Andrew. And as I've told you to call me Richard, he gave a firm but friendly handshake as they both chuckle at each other. How you doing, kid? Trying my best. I believe in you, Andrew. I know you're going to the studio across from where my funding project's going to, and you want to do the film director, you know? I'm something of a director myself. You should check it out sometime. Stop by if you can and check it out. Yeah, I heard about the movie over there. That's right. Arachnid Invasion is set to release July 22nd of 2023. So far. Richard Howard has always been an interesting man in my life. I know I've known him for years, and he welcomes me into his house like a second son, but yet it doesn't feel right. But I can't complain. At least it's a solid relationship I have with my best friend's dad. How's your aunt and uncle? Everything is smooth like a roller coaster. Everything is smooth like a roller. Did I mean like a roller coaster? I must have meant like a roller coaster. Anyways, well, if you want, you and Freddy could do something today after school, or if you can't, you're always welcome over tomorrow. I don't see why not. I can stop by after school today. Awesome. Let's just get going to class. They waved bye to Richard and headed inside. So, how'd it go with Vanessa today? She called me her halfway chauffeur. Ooh, you've gone from stranger to chauffeur. A definitive upgrade. You should ask her out now. It feels too soon. I'll do it on my own terms. When I feel it's right. Okay, fine. Gave a smug smirk, being a bit of a tease to Andrew. Don't listen. Okay, fine. Don't listen to your wingman, Red Fred, but she's going to need a bodyguard if she's going to be a model. He shook his head and smirks at Freddie's commentary. She doesn't just want to do that. She wants to do forensics and be an inspiration to little girls out there, not just be the status quo for women and the agenda they meet. She's genuinely funny. She's smart, and her smile, she's genuinely funny. She's very smart, and her smile, okay, lover boy, let's get you to your class. As they head to English 3, English 4, where they both see Esther and Jake Gyllenhaal. After the school day is over, Freddie was first to leave and get into his dad's car, and they headed home. Andrew was a minute, maybe 3 minutes behind. The reason I told Freddie I was gonna be a minute was the moment he would. No, the reason I told Freddie I was going to be a minute was the moment he was heading for the door and left. I got out, and there was Vanessa. She didn't even say a word other than, "I forgot to give this to you," with a smile, handing me a piece of paper, and left. It was her number. I was ecstatic. I was so ecstatic, I didn't even notice a green spider on me. It just suddenly bit me, and it hurt, and it itched a bit. And that was it. I hope I just continue my day and headed to Freddy's. After getting there, after a 30-minute drive and being there for about an hour, almost 2 at Freddy's, I was suddenly feeling woozy. Maybe not woozy, but definitely a little sweaty on my head. I still heard Freddy. He was going on about there should be more good horror movies, but I remember seeing 2 of them. Andy, Dad! The last thing I remember seeing in this moment was Freddy catching me. Freddy carefully holding and dragging Andrew out of his room. Richard, with distress and urgency, was up the stairs. What happened? Are you there, Andrew? For a brief second, I woke up, and ever slightly when I heard Richard. Freddy, what happened? I don't know, Dad. He suddenly started looking like this, and out of the blue, I swear, we didn't eat or drink anything. Well, he doesn't look like he had an allergic reaction. Andrew, can you hear me, dear boy? Yeah. Do you remember being bitten by something at any point in time today? There was the spider that bit me. What kind of spider was it? Why does it matter, Dad? We just need to get him to the hospital. We can take care of him here. He holds Andrew, have him look at him. I don't know what that was. Wait, having him look at him. Okay, that was weird. I don't know if that sounds right, but maybe that sounded right in my head. I will help. You're my responsibility. As of right now, you are my responsibility, and as of right now, and Mrs. Davidson may be an entomologist and study bees, she knows a thing or two about insects. Richard was showing concern, but he can't help but feel this is how he can find out what happened to his radioactive spider. I don't know, Dad. Andy, do you remember where this was? I was unfortunately slowly gaining my senses again a bit, but it was still a blur, and it felt like a purgatory for me. I was half seeing clearly, but still a bit of a blur on the other end. It was by the school. It could have been a spider from science, but let's just take him to a hospital. It's okay. Just take me home, please. The Howards, to do so, dropped him home. When they reached the house, Richard talked to both Paul and Elaine on what happened. Andrew was a bit fainted still. Not for long, but for the 4 of them, it felt like a while as they waited, patiently. It was 8:30 p.m., closer to 9 almost. All I know is I've been out for 2.5 hours. I heard my Aunt Elaine talking to Richard and Freddie. I looked over to my right of me on the couch was my uncle. Hey there, Sleepy Joe. He's awake! Elaine was with joy and excitement. Her and the Howards came in. Oh, thank God! If you're passed out any longer, I would have fainted. How do you feel? I feel okay. Do I look okay? How do I look? Well, you're no River Phoenix. Freddy! Frustrated. Freddy! Frustrated his son for making a joke at a time like this. It's okay. It's okay, Richard. I'm glad he said that. It's better to laugh than be in pain and depressed. Richard's face changed, an attitude changed as he smiled. Well, Freddy and I stayed to make sure to see you wake up, and seeing your breathing at least. Thank you again, by the way, Mr. Howard. Elaine, please, call me Richard. Yeah, come on, Elaine. We've known this man for longer than I saw the Beatles. Elaine rolled her eyes and laughed, and Richard joined in on the laughter too. I'm glad for this, but we must be going. So take it easy, Andy. I'll see you around, Fred. Thank you for bringing him and staying here. He smiled at him, and Fred left the residence. On the bright side, Vanessa gave me her number. Elaine's face lit up. I knew you had it in you, Andrew. He's got the skills like me. Giving a smirk. Or, smirking back at Paul, being a wise guy, he got those skills from my brother, or even better, he has his own skills. Yeah, Uncle Paul, I have a unique set of skills. All three of them filled the living room with laughter. Meanwhile, we move away from the Williams residence, and now at the building or facility that's like a recruiting camp for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and everything in between. Adriana pulled up to the building with something special in the back of her vehicle, looking ready as ever for anything on what she's about to present and show what's in store from the military men. Ooh, actually, that's a good stopping. That's a good pause for a second. That's a good pause. That's a good pause. Let me see what's up, guys. Like I said, people, during this whole thing, if you want to leave, like, questions, any comments, any thoughts, feelings, whatever it is, I appreciate that. Let's see, what did I miss here, guys? And also, I would appreciate, getting the attention, giving this the attention, that I don't know. I'm just rambling a little bit here, but let me see what has been up with the chat. I'm gonna continue back from here. Well, no. Well, he doesn't mess with my PS4. It's just that I'm a little concerned, or I get a little paranoid, because there was one time he turned it off on accident, and I was like, dude, because he walked over and his paw or his tail, something hit the little button to press it, and I was like, no! It's like, bro. So he did that, and then he likes messing with my twisty ties, because I have twisty ties, obviously, to tie up my plugs. So the plug for the outlet, and then the HDMI cord, and then the charger, and all that other stuff. So that's what I meant. Let's see. Oh yeah, Tom's here. Good to see you, Tom. Welcome. Feel free to, chat along if you guys want. Chat amongst yourselves, because this is fair play and fair game. So you could say something's a brewing. You could say something like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna say, but you could say, honestly. Oh, it does? Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry. That's my fault. I have the mic, like, right here, but I have it at a distance. Sorry. He is a menace. He's a menace! Jared! Get this menace out of here! What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's like I said, there's definitely some similarities, but there's definitely some differences on, my story versus the OG web slinger wall crawler that we all know and we're all looking at right now, of course, being Spider-Man. So you can definitely tell there's some inspiration with this. I'll do like maybe another minute or two and I'll get back to reading. I kind of made myself a little prepared, but at the same time not, because I did not expect all these flubs, but now I gotta kind of maybe one of these days go back and fix it. I don't want to do it now because I don't want to take too much of your time, so yeah. Well, the idea is that the expectation was like, hey, radiation, maybe it'll grow into like the size of Godzilla, and that'll be like the practical effects rather than doing CGI or anything like that. You know, like kind of like how there used to be old black and white movies, like with the giant monsters and giant spiders and giant bugs and oh no, ah, you know, those types of movies. But the spin on it is that, hey, why instead of, you know, using lazy camera work, let's just make a spider grow. And that's what Richard was thinking, but he didn't expect it to just, you know, well, let's just say he didn't expect it to kind of go the results he was looking for. But it kind of is a good thing, but let's just say it's kind of a bad thing. Because a good thing because now the board members are like, oh, we're not going to see it. Oh, you don't have a giant kaiju spider, because that would have been wrong. You would have an actual giant spider, and then that would have been illegal, because an actual spider that grew to the size of like 20 feet tall, you know, that would have messed things up. But at the same time, it's still not good because now the spider's missing and we don't know what's going on with the spider. So speaking of that spider, well, not speaking of that spider per se, but we're gonna let's see what's going on here. Maybe let's see what's brewing up. Screwed up, but where? Well, in the whole experiment, the thing is I don't remember what I was thinking at the time, but I know that the idea was they were assuming Howard Enterprise, Richard Howard, whoever was funding this movie, this B-rate movie, the assumption was that, hey, if we use radiation, because we've seen radiation used in, you know, other forms of both fiction and in real life, because you should also not take an accountant for, or take accountability, but take note that this is still the same universe that has other superheroes. So in the story, in the fictional story here, to our knowledge, we assume that, hey, radiation makes, you know, smaller things giant, both in fiction and in real life, because, hey, there's a giant monster, a giant green monster out there, but there's also in fiction, you know, giant monster movies, so hey, radiation must make things grow. And not that I'm like making them sound like they're idiots, but that was the assumption, and that was the hypothesis. That was the hypothesis that, hey, if we use radiation, maybe we'll get this thing to grow. And they assumed wrong. And if you know what happens when you assume, then you know what happens when you assume. But anyways, actually, let me see what you said, Pyro guy. Like the guy, wait, hold on, like the guy making the spider guy, like the joke is that they screwed up, but where that's the joke in like Ukraine and other countries. Oh, okay. Maybe I missed that, or maybe I misread what you meant, but okay. But let's keep going. We're at chapter 5, and I feel like this might take a lot longer than I expected. So this might be like a multi series. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. I think I'm doing pretty good. I know it's very slow because we're at the 5th chapter, but then again, I typed a shit ton. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You're fine. You're good. But you know, you'll notice that in some chapters more than others, there's a lot more I wrote, and there's a lot, like, some are longer than others and some are shorter than others, and then it will be definitely more obvious as we explore. Like when we hit like some other chapters, you'll see like, oh, okay, this one was pretty quick. But anyways, Adriana eagerly knocks on the door of the building, feeling confident and determined in her dream to help the military and those in the force. 2 minutes later, a man named Commander John R. Jameson answered. Greetings, Commander Jameson. Boy, do I have something for you and your general, especially your Air Force. Commander Jameson went to get his general, Connor McNeil. After a minute, John approached Adriana. Okay, Adriana, come on in and let's see what you got. She followed behind him as she closed the door. John and Adriana, side by side, approached General McNeil, sitting there cleaning up his table and desk before they closed for the night, along with the other sergeants. He looked up at both of them standing in front of him, along with a wheeled mover draped hiding something.
Commander, General, Miss, what brings you here at this time?
Sir, permission to state my name?
At ease, and as you were.
My name is Adriana Toombs, and what I have here is my application to join the Air Force and help out the Air Force, if I can be as best as possible.
What makes you want to join the Air Force?
I feel like I can do a great service, but not only serving, but also making advanced technology to help advance our forces and our troops in the field. So far, McNeil wasn't in a disagreement with what she was pitching. I think we should see what she has to offer, sir. She would fit greatly with the other cadets and trainees.
This better not be a bomb, is all I ask, Miss Toombs.
It isn't. Trust me. I've checked. She unveils. It was a suit with wings, and it had a fighter jet pilot-esque helmet, silver and blue on the arms, the wings, the claws like feet, and an Air Force logo stickered on the back left side of the helmet. The guys were impressed. Not bad, rookie.
Indeed, but must I ask a few things?
Of course, sir.
Why the claws on it?
It's meant to represent a Air Force suit that can fly and land without using airplanes or jets. What if someone shoots a missile in one of our turbines, or there's a crash? The user will have better access. Therefore, the claws on the end of the feet help it land on your feet better.
So you're expecting one or everyone to use these instead of our well-equipped Air Force jets?
She nodded with confidence.
I see your vision. However,
it was here Adriana was starting to get slightly nervous.
We use jets for a reason.
Of course, sir, but this may be a prototype, but I'll move faster and more agile. But it will move faster and more agile to maneuver a missile attack.
I'm sorry, it's not safe. Prototype or not, this will risk my men and women out there. And how you going to manufacture this?
What about working with scientists, sir?
Commander Jameson, I will not be putting my soldiers in jeopardy because of some amateur cosplay in tinfoil.
The general realized what he said and didn't mean it and sighs.
I'm sorry.
Holding back her tears softly with the betrayal in her tone. No, you're not.
Excuse me?
You're not sorry. I want to help my country and make a difference, and you spit in my general direction. How dare you?
Miss Toombs, I was being nice, but you speak to an officer like this, you are not welcome back here. Jameson, escort Toombs.
You're nothing but corporate vultures. I want to help shape the future, and you just sit around and rot. There's only room for one bird of prey, and I am it. She took her armor and escorted herself from the facility. The next morning, it was a Saturday. I was still laying and sleeping on the couch, but I was then woken up by the smell of pancakes. Whenever that aroma is in the air, usually my aunt is at work, and my uncle takes the time to cook something in the kitchen. And it's always like a tradition for him to make pancakes. Plus, I enjoy me a good stack of pancakes. But here's the weird thing. The smell did wake me, but it wasn't the first thing that did. I don't know what. My uncle brought me a plate of 3 sweet-smelling silver dollar pancakes. I can get up, you know, Uncle Paul. Kind of sounding smug. Okay, I guess I can. I guess I can eat these pancakes and not give them to my nephew. I just wanted to. I know. I appreciate it truly. Anytime, kiddo. So, do you feel okay? What did you or did you feel? It's hard to explain. It felt like a spider bite, like a normal one, but yet it wasn't. But I feel fine. Why do you ask? 'Cause I care, dude. want to make sure. I want to make sure my favorite nephew's okay. Simon isn't? Of course I like Simon, but you, Andrew, I care and I love you too. Much to lose. I care, I love you too much to lose. I promised your parents before the accident. Your aunt and I would protect you. With a smile and putting his arm around his uncle. You guys have done your best. And look at me now. He smiles back. Look at you now. Say, you wouldn't mind being up to doing anything. What were you thinking? A day out in the town. Sounds like a plan. Great. Yep, now drive. You sure? Yeah, it's my treat. At the Howard residence, Freddie just got done with getting ready to do something with his dad for the day. As he was heading downstairs, slowly coming down quietly, he was starting to hear Richard on the phone with someone.
Barbara, I'm telling you, this is no coincidence. Well, where else could this spider have gone? We need this thing as soon as possible. I need you to locate it, so Tobias can keep them off my tail before they find out. I'm just surprised you of all people
Before you can actually, hold on. Just saw Freddie come down the stairs.
I'm sorry, Barbara. I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. Sorry, son. I promise. It is a promise. A promise is a promise. No more business today. Because today is a Saturday. A day of father-son time.
Puts his arm around Freddie. You sure?
Yes, I swear on it.
Okay. So what do we do?
What about a museum, like old time's sake? I know how much you enjoyed them.
While Freddie was reminiscing. 16 years ago, a young Fred Howard, being swung in the air by his father and his mother, Alicia Howard. They were all at a National Museum of Science and Archaeology. And here is a rare fossil of the Mosasaurus. This was founded and discovered by archaeologist Obadiah Silvermain. Mr. Silvermain had found this in 1982.
Whoa! He sounds so cool!
He's okay.
Be nice, Richard. He chuckled. Alicia rolled her eyes as she knew it was just messing around.
You've met him before, Dad?
Once.
Can we meet him?
Yeah, can we?
Maybe. One day I can see what I can do.
It would be so cool to meet him and others like him. George Bass and Bill Nye.
His parents both chuckled. Now both Freddie and Richard walked inside a museum that said National Museum of Science and Archaeology. Meanwhile, Paul and Andrew were in the car. Paul was on the phone with Elaine, and Andrew was texting Vanessa. As he was texting her, something was messing with his head. He wasn't sure what, but it was almost like a tingling sensation. He looks up briefly and saw another car coming up on their right. Before they can get hit, Andrew slammed the brake on the top of Paul's foot and stopped it right in time before the intersection. Holy shit! How did you? I don't know. I had no clue how I did it, but how I knew. But I felt like a warning of danger. It went from what I assumed was a migraine to a sixth sense in my head, and it went away like that. I guess I was pretty lucky looking out for your bacon, Uncle Paul. Lucky is an understatement. Well, I'm glad I have you to look out for me. As they approached their destination, they pulled up to a local movie theater, catching a matinee. Up on the coming attractions listed: Time Cop, Flying into the Future, War of the Worlds, and Star Wars. Sci-Fi Saturday. Should I take a guess of which one, or is it obvious? I think it's pretty obvious. Points to Star Wars. Figured. I laugh because I figured. I laugh because Uncle Paul knows how much I love Star Wars, even though he's a Trekker? Well, whatever they are. He knows how much this movie means to me. Thank you. We smiled and walked into the movie theater. After we got in, there was like that weird tingle twitching again in my head. It was someone behind us this time. I don't know why it was going off until this happened. After Paul and Andrew paid their tickets, there was a man in a trench coat. I'm thinking for a second. Give me a quick second.
Listen, little lady. Just put the money in the box.
As he pointed a gun at the ticket booth woman. She puts her hands in the air. I couldn't help but watch as my uncle was already on the other side of the door. You coming? Of course, Uncle. Let me pee real quick and I'll meet you in there. Luckily, he went into our seats as I quietly approached the crook from behind. Wow. Stealing from Cinema 7? Really scraping the barrel, are we? The crook turned to face him in confusion. You know, I have already called the coppers, so I would put that gun away. The girl thought I was crazy. Trust me, lady, I thought so too, but something in my gut, my instincts was telling me to do this.
Piss off, kid.
He went to jab me with his gun, but I grabbed it. I couldn't believe it myself, but there was no turning back. Just enough to distract him, till the cops came. But this is where it gets funny. Not so much ha-ha, but strange kind of funny. My hand then grabbed and blocked his gun jab, and that hand was stuck to it.
What kind of prank is this?
Wish I could tell you, but this is a shock to me too.
Oh, I'll shock you, all right.
He went to punch me with his other hand, and I blocked it. Wow, 2 for 2, I guess.
Hey, knock it off.
I wish I could. The two of them spun around a bit until Andrew leaned back, causing Herman, damn, I really need to fix this up. Wow, okay. I'm sorry, I'm anal right now, so give me a second here. That's not the name I have here. It's Harvey, not Herman. Not Herman. There's no Herman. Who's Herman? Hold on. That's right. That's the right one. Hold on. Harvey. That's right. Where is it? I passed it. Hold on. The two of them. I just saw it. There it is. Herman. Harvey, not Herman. Jeez. I typed, I think, a little too fast, too. I think I was in such a zone that I didn't even realize my own flub, which is fine. Not a big deal. Anyways, until Andrew leaned back, causing Harvey to lean forward, and Andrew kicked him off, and Harvey was met with the front of the entrance, and finally, the sticky grip had worn off. Who's calling me? Oh, never mind. Just enough time, and the cops came to arrest Mr. Schultz. I couldn't believe that I couldn't believe I did that, but I went into the movie just in time during the previews. And yet I missed only the re-release of The Close Encounters, the 40th anniversary of Indiana Jones, and Rebecca with Simon. Oh, Rebecca? Oh, Rebecca. I gave a smug smirk. Of course my cousin would be doing a silly Hallmark-type rom-com. That sounds kinda sappy, generic, so sitcom-y, that of course he would do it. Let's just enjoy. The lights began to dim, and cue the John Williams score in big and bold yellow letters. Star Wars! Oh yeah, that's right, let me change that. Alright, now let me go back. Okay, I still got 12 minutes, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out as great as I want it to be, but you know what? We're going to roll with the punches, that's all. We're going to just go with it. We're going to go with it. 4 hours later, and 2 hours after the movie, and 2 hours after being out for the day, Andrew and Uncle Paul returned home in time as Aunt Elaine was home. Elaine and Paul were in the kitchen as dinner was being prepared. Andrew was in his room on the phone with a certain someone. So I of course had a good time with my uncle. He knows how much I love movies and I want to direct. Heck, I beat up a guy, some crook. Oh, is that so? Well, I kind of beat him up, just stalled for time until the police came, and it felt good. Like I was protecting my uncle in a strange small way. You should be a superhero, they chuckled. Like an Avenger? Sounding kinda cocky. Nah, Man, like, nah, man, like a hero. A hero for the little guys. Maybe friendly. Just to the neighborhood. I couldn't help but chuckle. You're, you're making it so hard. Hard to what? Hard to resist. Vanessa couldn't see it, but I was kind of blushing. I couldn't help it. She's just so damn cute. Really? You think so? I know so. Andrew gave me a reassuring smile with a reassuring tone. Well, if I'm so irresistible, how come you haven't asked me out or anything? Damn, she beat me to it. If only she knew what I was going to say next. Well, actually, I was going to, say maybe we can catch a movie sometime. Maybe we can. Maybe we will. Just don't sit on it for too long. I won't. But let me go, and I'll talk to you later, okay? Her laugh is just like butter. Her voice is like silk. Okay. Take it easy. Thanks. Okay. Bye. That moment I got off the phone, I look up and right by my door was my aunt. How'd it go? I grabbed a spoon. She smiles at Andy. It's back to Monday. After a great weekend for recreation and carefree fun, it's back to Midtown University. As everyone was getting up after English 3, English 4, the class was assigned out of the blue project. Freddie got paired with someone else, so Andrew got paired with Jake Gyllenhaal. I was chatting with Jake, but I noticed his sister, like, something was bothering her. She okay? She going to be okay? Yeah, Esther, she's a super. She feels different from everyone else. She doesn't hear from any of her older friends, so she doesn't have many. Jake gave me an unfortunate nod. She feels she's always chosen last. That's one to say. She's used to doing things on her own, so let me help her sometime. What? I'll come over and we'll do our project and I can help out hers. You don't have to, but I want to, Jake. She's going to be very happy, Andrew. Call me Andy if you want. I never want others to feel left out. I feel this will be the start of a beautiful friendship with me and the Gyllenhaals. Jake and I were walking out of class and then I stopped and man, I can't go without seeing her, not complaining, just observation on how lucky I am. I get to see this amazing gal. I think Jake kind of got the idea. Well, hey, man, I'll see you later. As Jake went to his next class, Andrew approached and started walking next to Vanessa. Do you actually, enjoy doing this with me? Of course, you're very easy to get to know and talk to about things, and I feel what we have or could have will grow into something stronger. Well, I appreciate that. Normally, people or guys look at me, but for different reason. You actually enjoy my company and want to get to know me. Well, I'm glad I make you feel this way. I suddenly got a text. I don't know why, but it was from Jared Morbius. Vanessa noticed I was a bit confused and concerned with what I was reading the text. You okay? It's from this editor that works for both my bosses, Richard Zucker and Steven Senderas. They sound familiar. Have I seen some... Have I... No, wait, hold on. They sound familiar. I'll have to see sometime. But what is it? I don't know, but he wants to talk later after class and school. Later that day, Andrew headed to his car, gave Vanessa a hug, and left to head to meet up with Jared. Once I got there, he for whatever reason wanted to meet at the closest mall. After I found where he was, he sat there, anxious, which is normal for Jared, but something felt different. Have a seat, young Williams. Sure. What's the issue here? I'm gonna be more blunt than I actually am. Than I actually am blunt. Did you make this comment using a different monarch? He showed me a comment on a post he made about his next project as he was trying to promote a script for a movie he's going to be editing on. It read, "Why would anyone want your trash?" with a laughing emoji. Just tell the truth. You're really worried about this? I don't have time for these games. You're a rookie, and I think Richard and Steven suck up to you, and I'm a picky prick. So you do. Hold on. Yeah, I think Richard and Steven suck up to you, and I'm a picky prick. So you do this to troll me. Jared, honest to God, I didn't do it. I like to think he took my word, but I couldn't tell with his natural resting face whether he believed me or not. Jared looked very frustrated. Usually he doesn't let haters bother him, but out of all of these, this was the one that was irritating his skin. Just don't let some asshole beat you down. I know, easier said than done, but you have to try. If you don't, then you're not Jared Mobius, because the Jared I know would give zero tiger shits about this. I hate you for being right. You're welcome. Whereas Jared gave... No, wait, I said with a smile, whereas Jared gave me a sharp, annoyed look. Don't flatter yourself too much, Andrew. Meanwhile, the Howard Enterprise, Richard was in a room meeting with Tobias Safin and other investors, vice presidents, and associates of plus board members of his company. Fellow directors of Howard Enterprise, it's time for our weekly status quota and where we are in the process and progress of things. Well, the charity we are hosting at the National Museum of Science and Archaeology with Silvermane Foundation is off to a great start.
We still need to test out that vast pool of snake DNA, see if it can heal skin tissue.
Our robotics and technology program grows stronger in numbers and members. Felix Barn has signed a 3 to 4 picture deal with us. We are close to finding a cure for cancer
and dementia. Yes, all great progress. This is what I live for. Anyone else?
Suddenly it went quiet, almost as if something was off and or something was missing. We still haven't found that spider yet. We think it might be long gone or missing. There was a shift in his tone. What? There was a shift in Richard's tone. It was once ecstatic to now full of stern. Because of illegal radioactive spider could be missing and out there causing harm, risk, or danger, plus with the government potentially finding out, plus the authorities, the rest of us came to the conclusion of having you resign. You're fired, Richard. His tone rapidly changed to a full-on panic.
This is impossible. You can't do this to me. I mean, my name is on the bulletin there. It's plastered everywhere. I started this business. You all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. For me, I carried this company all on my back because of me. All of you are recognized for talent and intelligence the world would never realize. You know how much I've sacrificed? That's how much I've sacrificed.
For a minute, the entire building was quiet. No, yeah, never mind.
At least you can recover or leave the country if the government finds out. The rest of the board.
Bit of tension breaking as she was... Oh wait, whoops, this is a she, oopsie. At least you can recover or leave the country if the government find out that the rest of the board. A bit of tension breaking she was doing, but at what cost?
It's for your own good. You're out, Howard.
With a mix of confusion, sarcasm, anger, and arrogance in his normal but soft delivery. Am I? Back to the Williams residence, after coming back from the Gyllenhaals, he sat for a moment and pondered. He couldn't help think about what Vanessa suggested. You should be a superhero, she said. I mean, it did feel good, in the sense of beating up that punker, but importantly, I felt like I protected my uncle without him realizing it. So it felt good to protect others, but never I knew I could do that. must have been that spider. Perhaps it's possible that that spider wasn't just a spider. Maybe from something out of a lab experiment. The spider just gave enhanced abilities. I definitely feel a bit stronger when I apprehended that crook. Nothing like the Hulk, but I felt more quick too, more agile. Maybe that tingling I've been getting is like a sense of sorts associated with the arachnid. But what was the stickiness about? That I'll never figure out. However, I can't let anyone know about these powers. Not yet, at least. Just not now. 5 years ago, not 5 years ago, a 5-year-old hoisted, Jesus, words right now. A 5-year-old Andrew was hoisted up on his mother's shoulders. Maybe one day you can be a star too.
Of course he'll be. Just look at him. It's in his blood. Oh my god, he's bleeding.
Just as long as you want to do it too, Andrew. Of course, Mommy. I want to do movies with you guys. Our little star. Alright. Pause break. Pause break. Got a little pause break. Pause break. Anyways. Let me see, what have I missed, you guys? I hope everyone's at least enjoying it, honestly. I know this is really weird, and maybe it might be awkward, but hey, if there's an audience for it, and if people really like it, and if, you know, if no one knows that I have a Wattpad, at least, hey, this is more of that story, this is more of that information, more about, like, what it was like during 2021, and then when we do more of these, then there'll be, you know, more and things like that. Let me see. So, looks like, whatchamacallit, let me see. I would read that, I would read that this night. Really? Oh, hold on, let me see here. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so the joke, I would read that this night. No joke, I will. You mean the Wattpad thing? I mean, even if you guys want to go read this for yourself and maybe, like, do your own little headcanon, then by all means, because I know I'm gonna be honest, I am very shit with either voices or impressions, so this is not gonna be that great. And hey, maybe it's a little weird admitting this and sounding a little unprofessional, but I'm just being honest and modest. But I will say this: there is a video I do have of my voice canon, head canon of how these characters sound like in my head. So obviously, what I'm doing is not gonna come out how I would, think of it. You know what I mean? I don't know about Vulture per se, but actually, just we'll find out. We'll find it. We'll find out. You'll find out. Well, just take it easy on the captions, or take it easy. Yeah, take it easy on the capitals and the caps. Maybe something close to it. We'll see. But thank you, Brandon, for stopping on by. I at least appreciate you at least tuned in and everything, and I kind of am appreciative of you guys at least just listening. I know it's not like the usual conversion, of back and forth witty banter, but I'm appreciative of that you guys are at least listening and at least kind of chiming and hanging out and all. So I will take that at least. Yeah, and Stinky's out there by the door. You know what it is? He's been... You know what it is? I'll give you guys this real quick, and then I think 3 more minutes, and then we'll continue. We'll keep going. Wait. Oh! Yeah, that's fine. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, a reminder of later ads. Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pyro Gun. I'll probably need it again in in another hour, but thank you. Well, no, this is Richard Howard. Richard Howard has nothing to do with Howard Stark. This is a different person, You might be close. You might be close with what you're saying. I mean, look, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real while I'm obviously reading my own story. Yes, I borrowed some references. You guys will see that. So I can't help it. Like, I am a huge Marvel nerd, and obviously Spider-Man is just so iconic. So of course there will be some nods a little bit here and there. And some of the villains that we will see, there is some inspiration from some of Spidey's rogues. Not all of them, but some. And then there's other things that we'll find out later on, because I kind of get creative with my own original characters, but also I kind of come up with, let's say, variants. But that's for later. That's fine. You can always check this out in the replay. If you want to, check this out in the replay, see what you missed, and then if not, you can follow along. Honestly, if you guys, let's say it takes us 4 months to get to the next part, because there's no way in hell, seriously, there is no way in hell we are going to finish year 1 within another hour. Like I said, there's 80 chapters, and I made a shit ton of things because I just was like flooding with ideas, and I was like, okay, I can finally put these ideas to paper, because I had these ideas for years, and now I'm like, okay, when I started typing year 1 in 2024, I was like, alright, let's do this. I was just going and going. And, like, yes, I took breaks, but I was just, like, non-stop. I was like, now I can finally get to this part. Now I can get to here. But I will admit also, there were moments that, like, I had to pause, and I was like, okay, I need to have, like, not filler, but I need to think of other stories. Like, what can go on here? What's a subplot? What's a little, like, adventure that can happen here? Or a little story arc, you know? And, like, they kind of flow, and they kind of, you know, have their emotion. But then there's sometimes little moments of like stops, like it stops and like takes a minute to breathe. So, plus it could be the way I'm reading. If you don't like the way I'm reading everything, you can read at your own pace and then be like, okay, it sounds like this when I'm better read it this way. I don't know, you know. Hold on, can you pin the comment reminder? The Wattpad is already pinned, if that's what you're looking for, which is fine. But the other thing I can't pin because I can only pin one comment. And out of all the comments, I want to have that Wattpad thing there in case you guys want to read it. Just in case. Just in case. Just in case. You know. I know what you're talking about, but I can't pin two comments because I can't have one. I have to have one or the other. So I'm gonna keep the pin for the Wattpad there for now. So, but anyways, let's progress a little bit more, and then I don't know. We'll see how many we'll get. We'll see how many chapters we get to when we reach, like, by the 2-hour mark, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll see. But anyways, so we were just at the little flashback scene. Now we're back to flashing forward. Right? Yeah, that's the little flashback moment right there. He wrote down something on a piece of paper and left it out and headed downstairs. Tuesday afternoon. School was done for the day, or at least it was for Andrew. Since he's done with his classes. Wow. I must have really just was like, okay, because like, yeah, anyways. Since he was, well, I guess that could be gone or done, either way. Just as he was about to head out for the day, whether it was to see Vanessa or head home or do something else, Freddy came by. Andy! Usually Fred is always excited and tries to be optimistic like I do, but this is the most I've seen or heard him in some time. What's up there, dude? The news has reported that Obadiah Silvermane's back, and he's founded the reclusive remains of the Siberian silver saber-tooth. He's back! Wait, how many years was he gone for? Only a mere 3 years. But do you think he can, or maybe we can, check it out? As Freddy showed me a video of Obadiah live on the news giving a speech about his newest and latest discovery. Maybe even meet him? Freddy. Don't wanna... Oh, he's trying to open the door. Never mind. Don't wanna rain on your parade, but now? He might be busy. It might be a line to get to him. Maybe do this with your... Before he can finish, Fred was getting a call. Yeah, hold on, Andy. Hold on. Hey, Dad. Oh. Wait. What? But how? They can do that? Oh. So, now what? Well, hopefully you can do something about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm just standing here with Andrew. Yeah. Yeah. I'll see you soon. As soon as Freddy got off the phone, there lied a frown where that smile usually is. But I just knew something was up immediately. Dad might be losing the job. Oh, Freddy. The board might be able to fire him for some illegal stuff he might be covering, and apparently something about a spider. I think, but if he can't get in, I want to talk to him about me running and taking the company. I mean, I'm a year away, and then I can get in. Wow. That's a lot. Yeah. Crazy. I agree. So what was this all about? About a spider? I had to play it cool and confused. I had a feeling Richard Howard might have owned or did stuff with that same spider that I was bitten by. It would make sense, as much as Fred is my bud and my best friend. I can't let him know. I just can't let him know of it if this is the case. I don't know, Drew. Some spider, I don't remember, but do you think us going to Obadiah's museum can wait? Yeah, of course. Just, this is more important. Thanks, man. Freddy gave Andrew a hug. Yeah, anytime. What are best friends for? Just be careful. Freddy nodded and smiled and headed out of the college campus building. Oh, man. Oh, my man, Freddy. If I could, I wish I could help in some shape or form. Maybe I can. Or at least perhaps get to the bottom of this. Andrew headed home that night. While he headed home, he made sure to tell Vanessa his plan of action, for the most part. I already told her about what happened with Howard Enterprise and that I was going to help out. I didn't say how I was going to do so. I would, but I don't want her knowing of my powers either too. I don't want her in danger. Once he got home, he grabbed a black and green hoodie, told his aunt and uncle he was going over to Freddy's for a few or so, and headed to Howard Enterprise. Once he arrived there, Andrew had to park his car where it wasn't obvious, so he found the nearest alley to put it between something. I can't just waltz into Howard Enterprise, especially can't have Richard or Freddy know what I'm doing, and with Freddy gone or being kicked out, they probably won't allow visitors. Plus, I'm trying to be secret for a reason. However, I had a thought. When I fought that crook at the movie theater, I was sticky to him briefly. I wonder if I inherit that from the spider's natural instinct to hold on to stick onto some things. Andrew decided to place his hand on the side of the building. As he slowly began climbing up the building, Andrew was exhilarated at his hypothesis and how high he was able to climb. His wildly ecstatic smile grew wider and wider with a rush of adrenaline and happiness. It felt so alive, as he kept climbing on and climbing till he reached the top. Luckily, the building he climbed was right next to Howard Enterprise. He made a run for it. Without thinking, and if perfectly timed, he ran as fast as he could. Once he got to the ledge of the building, he jumped, launching himself off the ground as far and as high as he could, slowly close to the Enterprise building, right? Slowly close to the Enterprise building, and just as he was almost going to fall, he on his right hand, his pinky, pointer, and thumb were out, and his right finger and middle finger were decently curled to where suddenly web like fluid was shot out his wrist and ranged and reached all the way to the Howard Tower and stuck to it, projecting Andrew to the building, and boom! Softly and without any notice or sound, he was sticking to it. He couldn't believe what happened, but now wasn't the time to question. The time was to act and to dig into this and find out more. Once he was able to find a window to sneak in an empty room where no one could see him, Andrew was climbing and crawling on the walls to see anything on any details on the spider that bit him. This is it. Don't get scared. Now to get some information. After a bit of crawling, Andrew came across a room/lab that might give him some indication on that spider he's looking for, with some familiar faces. Miss Davison, I know I'm not the one that's calling the shots. However, I think for the sake of the company, let's ditch anything recent research that Richard Howard had assigned or started or created, and that goes for this. Even with Mr. Howard being fired or getting fired, this is still our responsibility to find out where the spider went. Yeah, an unnecessary one when it's long gone. We don't know that for sure. Just ditch the investigation on it before we both get in trouble, for your sake. Tobias sat and then left the room, and Barbara was in. I tried to get a closer look without being seen, but it looked like it said Project Practical Effects. Was Richard just using actual radioactive spiders to cut corners or for authenticity? So, would he be hiding this from his own company or other illegal reasons? Barbara left for a brief moment to see if anyone was coming down the halls. Perfect. This is the time. This is my time. Fortunately, he brought a flash drive to take some of the information off the computer and on the spider. His senses went off. He quickly got it and headed back up for the ceiling. Barbara came back in the room as she copied the files onto her drive, too. Andrew tried to make his escape till suddenly Barbara noticed him through the glare of her screen. Hey! She didn't see his face just yet, just his dark brownish hair, and Andrew kept crawling quicker. Barbara reached for a prototype mini dart arrow she was working on and threw it at his hand. It poked his hand a bit and Andrew fell. How the hell did you do that? And what you want, kid? Hold on, I got someone being stinky. Give me a second here. I'm trying to clean my glasses a second, and someone's pulling at my carpet, which is insane. Dude, it hasn't even been, it's not even at the hour mark. You stink cat. Ugh. What do you want? Come here. What do you have to say? What do you have to say for yourself? What do you want to add to this? What do you want to add to this? Speak now, forever hold your peace, because I'm keeping you on the bed or I'm kicking you out again. There. Stay there. Or something. I don't know. Hey. Bro. Go. If you're gonna do this, go. Go. Come on, go. I'm not doing this. Come on. I'm not playing. Come on. In or out, go. There. Go. 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 Further. Go. I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this. Stinky. Such a smelly cat. Oh, God. This guy stinks! Alright, let me see if I can at least finish a few more chapters. I don't know how many more, but let's see how many more we can squeeze in without doing this. There we go. Cool. Cool. Andrew with his hands up, taking out the dart arrow out of his hand. I just wanted some answers of my own, he said calm. I just wanted some answers of my own, said in a calm demeanor to reflect to Barbara that he wasn't here for harm or theft. Barbara, unsure to trust him or not, pulled an emergency switch. Of course you'd do that, as he began to head for the window. Thanks for the info! Barbara gasped, following Andrew, thinking of the worst, that Andrew was going to do something or self-harm to himself. Andrew jumped out the window, and by the time she arrived by the window, he was gone. She pondered for a moment. Once security reached her lab, as she was explaining to them about Andrew, there was on the side of the tower where no one, including Miss Davidson, didn't see him and left. I really saved my own bacon back there. I need to work on my escapes and hiding and my crawling and my everything. I need a better look if I'm going to be doing this. As Andrew was heading home into his room, he took off his hoodie, placed it on the desk next to his laptop, while seeing the research on the spider. It looks as though it was experimented on and went through a mutation of sorts. So it was for the movie that across the street of my studio I work, intern, and study at. I guess this makes sense when it was called Project Practical Effects. Still kind of risky of Richard Howard. But I can't tell Freddy yet. I need more info on my evidence for I say, hey Freddy, your dad is running a mutant circus and filled with a web. Hold on. But I can't tell Freddy yet. I need more info on my evidence before I say, hey Fred, your dad is running a mutant circus and filled with a web of lies. In the meantime, something about this hoodie could be more of some use to me. Maybe with some pizzazz, maybe with some flair, some super flair, I can make this hoodie make me look like a superstar. Andrew stood there, looking at the hoodie, and started to envision something spectacular. He spent the rest of the night drawing, sketching up designs. Luckily for him, his aunt and uncle were asleep on the couch downstairs. After a few sketches, he got something that spoke to him. It was this combination of a green mask with a green hoodie, equipped with red eyes. Down to his torso was all black suit with a green spider at the center of it. Going across were a pattern of red and green on the arms with the web line designs and details. At the wrist of each arm were black with red maroon-like gauntlets, close to his pulse and veins to help with his web issue and help with trajectory. At the end were green hands going down the torso to the legs with the same or similar color pattern with red, black, and green. And to end and cap it all off were green legs and black web line designs on them. All that was left was for Andrew to sew, and he fortunately still had his aunt's sewing machine she gave him to keep for when he moves out, and sewing he began. After at least a good hour, maybe an hour and a half, the suit was done. The next day, Wednesday, March 19th, and Andrew was so deep asleep, laying on his desk after the suit was made, suddenly he heard the voice of his aunt. 1 to 3 hours ago, Uncle Paul left for work, and Elaine was just about to leave. Andrew wasn't sure if she was coming in or not. Just in case, he took the suit and threw it in his closet. And wouldn't you know, Aunt Elaine popped in. Hey, kiddo. I don't know if you're still asleep or not. I've got work, so I'll see you later. Okay, but I might be back later. I've got a project I'm working on for some classmates of mine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, seriously. Okay, seriously. I gotta go. Love you. Love you too. Bye. Bye. Elaine popped her head back out and headed to work. In that moment, Andrew got a text, and it was from Vanessa. Can't wait to see you. Hope you're okay and well rested. He just smiled and wrote back, I most absolutely got my well rest. I bet someone like you doesn't need beauty sleep, since you're already so beautiful. She replied with a blushing emoji, and Andrew began the rest of his day. Hours later at the studio, he was finished for the day and began his walk to the room where Vanessa was, and he waited once he got there. I know I'm okay to look and watch her at work and doing this modeling, but it feels so wrong to stare. Don't want it to be awkward, no matter how many times I see her. But this time, the door is closed and I can see through the glass. I see her, that beautiful glow, and there's her instructor and photographer. But who's this? Who's the other dude? The instructor and photographer looked like they were discussing marketing, editing, perhaps getting Vanessa to learn a thing or two. But while the two gentlemen were talking in the back, this other guy, who is unclear what he wanted or was supposed to be doing there, but Vanessa turned away from him, almost like rejecting an offer. In a quick moment, the guy was about to grab Vanessa by her arm, or perhaps somewhat inappropriate. In that same quick moment, Andrew had gotten in the room and grabbed the guy's hand and arm before anything could happen. Now, where was that hand going to touch and grab? The guy looked very agitated, and Vanessa, from the corner of Andrew's eyes, was blushing a bit. Andrew looks over at Vanessa. I actually was going to ask if you wanted to see that movie I mentioned there, sweetheart. Vanessa quickly picked up on what Andrew was doing and in a flash went along. I don't see why not, babe. She smiles at him, whispers to the guy's ears, I think you should leave, asshole. The guy went to swing his fist at Andrew, and with ease Andrew ducked and then tripped him. The guy then got up and left in a huff. Thank you for saving me there, sweetheart. What's wrong with that? And with a smile on her face and a tilt in her head. Nothing wrong. So, are you by any chance done for the day? Not really, but those two are busy. Why, what's up? Even her just saying my name is like music to my ears. I was actually wondering if you wanted to catch that movie or that date sometime. Like, what time sometime? Is tomorrow good? With a small nod, yeah, tomorrow's good. Okay. He chuckled with glee and let her continue for the remainder of her time, while outside with such joy, she said yes! After her shift, her and I started to head downstairs to our vehicles so we can leave for school. We can leave for school. Yeah, wow. I really need to work on this, but it's okay. I still can't believe that you came to see me at school that one time, with a wide and excitement on his face. Well, I just wanted to come to see you at school. Is that wrong, babe? She said, still teasing him about what also said in... Like, she said, still teasing him, but was also said with meaning. Wait, you really mean that? So does that... Are we... Perhaps... Might as well start somewhere if we are to get to know one another and go out. That is true. So what did you want to do this time today? No, what did you do this time today? They were teaching me about products, like, advertisement. They wanted me to get to know into basic video editing and graphic designing. Wowza, that's really good. Yep, this girl isn't just eye candy. She chuckled. They both chuckled for a good minute. Then once they stopped, the air was quiet. Do you think that's all there is to me? He reassures her. You are very beautiful, but you are very, very intelligent. So brilliant, it'll take everyone by surprise how good you are at what you truly want to do. You're going to be great at this and forensics. As Andrew was talking, Vanessa's eyes sparkled a bit as she listened to every word he said. once he was done. How shocked she was. Wow, no one has ever said that about me before. She blushed for a brief moment. Thank you. He gave her a smile and a nod and a gentle of course. So what movie did you have in mind? Really? You sure you don't want to do dinner or something else? Who said I didn't want to do dinner and a movie? I mean, if you're offering to do both, sure. Once they reached outside and were where their cars are. Once they reached outside and where their cars are. Well, if you don't mind me saying, I'm glad to see you again. Likewise. Thank you again. Really, for all that back there. Anytime and anything for you. What time should I pick you up? Vanessa gave Andrew a kiss on the cheek. Might as well start somewhere. I'll text you when after school. She waved bye to him and got in her car. What a woman. I can't wait already. But luckily she didn't see the inside of the car. Then she would have saw me. Oh, But luckily she didn't see the inside of the car. Then she would have saw me green-handed with the suit in there. Luckily, I don't have to worry about classes today. I'll be working on that project with Jake and Esther later with them. All I need to do is just park the car at the school and then start my patrol as the Spectacular Prodigious Spider-Star. Hey, that actually has a nice ring to it. And Andrew did what he said to do. Arrived at Midtown University, parked the car, and then walked a few feet away from campus so no one would see him climb up a complex of some sort, put on the suit for the first time, began running, jumping from building to building, and web-slinged. Wow, wearing this, it feels like I have wings, or I was free. In a strange way, perhaps it's like freedom to this. To these, perhaps it's the freedom to do things for this world. After a while of swinging, that good old sense of his went off. My senses are tingling, but wait, aha! I see you. He spotted a crook in a gray jacket with black stripes on, running off with what looked like something shiny as the hero leaped in closer to his area. So, I think the most obvious award goes to... Fuck! Anyways, the criminal turned in confusion to face the webhead hanging upside down. What kind of circus act are you? I don't know. I was going to ask you the same thing with that jacket. Now, why don't you be a good tiger and drop the shiny... Not gonna happen, Avenger boy. He throws a knife at his web, cutting him down, but fortunately for Spidey, he landed on his feet. While Gargan was distracted, he takes the shiny. Richard Gargan then went in for a few punches. His senses was like a rapid radar, dodging left and right. Gargan then swept and tripped Spidey's feet, and that time he landed, but on his back. Okay, lucky shot there, Stripey. My turn. As he leaped over him, dodging his punch, landed facing his back, webbed Gargan's legs and feet, and had him hanging from the lamppost. Richard Gargan growled, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to kill you, you slippery, slimy son of a... Whoa! Language, buddy. Not in front of the kiddos. Before he can finish the statement, he webbed his mouth. Suddenly, he heard a small applause in the crowd. Spider-Star was smiling on the inside and felt rewarded, for this is the only reward he could ask for. The next moment, officers Hoffman and Robertson arrived to apprehend Gargan. Nice job, newbie. Thanks. Just wanted to make a contribution and make a debut. Debut? Well, what should we call you then? Names? In his head, something sparked, like an old memory. Spider-Star! Well, thank you, Spider-Star. I'm Robbie, and this is Ted. We appreciate the capture of Richard Gargan. Of course, and here's a souvenir for the road. Tossed the shiny object and Hoffman caught it. let's go, Robertson. Commissioner Jameson needs us back. As they put Gargan in the back of the car and headed back to the station. Late. What? No. I didn't realize that was a thing. Hang on. Give me a quick second. Actually, you know what? We can stop there for a brief moment. Hold on. I want to swing around for a second so that way at least the PlayStation will think I was playing something and doing something. I'll see what you guys have said in a moment. But thank you so much, Pyrogun, for sticking around as long as you could. I appreciate it so much, and I'm very glad that you enjoyed it a lot. And hopefully you can catch more of this. And I have no idea how often we will do these, but hey, you know, if you build a field, people will come. If you guys get what I mean. Get up to Avengers Tower, and then I'm gonna see what else you guys have been saying. And if you guys have anything else you want to add or ask or suggest or anything like that, feel free. I'll take suggestions still. I may not be able to read them ASAP, but hey, give me some suggestions and I'll look at them. Alright, so now we're at Avengers Tower, so that way the game will think that we've been at least doing something. Boy. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get through this much. I didn't realize how long these were. In theory, I didn't realize it. Hold on. Wait, who's making footsteps? I just realized. Oh, it's just me. I was like, who's making footsteps? That was a lot. That was very anticlimactic, but that's okay. But yeah, that's alright though. I feel like this is gonna be probably a multi-series of thing, like a multi-series podcast of whatever. Because there's no way in hell I'm gonna do like a 5-hour stream of reading all this, or I have no idea how long this will actually take me if I did it in one stream. But I feel safer to just do it in multiple streams, like do it in bulk like that, rather than sit here for hours and hours and hours and hours reading and reading and reading. You get what I'm saying? You get how repetitive and annoying that would be. So I think that would be better, just doing these as multiple videos. And plus, I mean, it's gonna be like that anyways, because when we finish year 1, we're gonna read year 2, and then once maybe year 2, and by that time maybe year 2's done, and then I'll be working on year 3. I don't know. Right now, I will at least say this, that year 1, this is all done. Like, this is complete. You can literally, and if you guys want, you can read for yourself. Read ahead. Maybe read what's going on, and then maybe be like, ooh, I know what's gonna happen next because I read ahead, you know? I don't know. Whatever floats your fancy. But both year 1 and year 2 are available. Year 1 is fully complete, and year 2 is near completion. So you can literally read up to all that. And I have another project I'm kind of working on, so I might put that in the far front, and then I'll then do year 3. But that little project, that other project I'll be working on, I'll save for another time. I don't know if I would do the same thing I'm doing here for that, if I'm being honest. We'll see. I really don't know. I don't know. I doubt it, if I'm being honest. We'll see. Actually, it all depends on how everybody enjoys this. I guess this will be a series, but it won't be like every day, because obviously there's videos I want to do, and there's streams that everyone else wants to see. So I don't want to take this all up. I don't want this taking up everybody's time and everything. We'll see. And plus, other stuff is going on behind the scenes. Like, so much other stuff is gonna happen in the next couple of months and so forth. Let me see if there's anything else I missed from you guys. I don't want to check because like now I'm seeing all these other notifications that I got. Okay, so I didn't really miss much. That's fine. But yeah, no, you guys are more than welcome to leave anything. It doesn't even have to pertain to the story. If you have a question or suggestion for me, I'll like I said, I'll look at it. I'll still take suggestions. Like I said, these are gonna be little synchronicities of breaks and little like half times, if you will. I think we'll do up to, I don't know, let's see. Let's just do another minute and then I'm gonna get back to it. See if you guys have anything you want to ask me or anything you guys want to add. If not, no sweat, I'll just start. I don't know, I think if I decide to read this again, I'll have to definitely edit it on my own time. But I will say this for you guys. The first year has quite a bit of setup for some characters, but there's literally just like there's only a total of there are some setups for certain characters to be introduced and, you know, have a roaming around and everything, but there's literally only 4 villains in total. Like actual characters that become actual villains. So, like for the first year. I can't say for the second and third year, but there's a total of 4 only so far. Let me make sure that hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I want to land it here. When is the next part? I have no idea. We'll see what happens. You know, if more people are super excited for this, then I don't think I'll do the next part ASAP, but it'll be, you know, it'll be like an occasional thing, you know, like a nice, like maybe, like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Right now, I just wanted to do this, and then we'll take it from there. And then if people want to see part 2 after this, then I'll do part 2 again. If people want to see Ace Attorney, we'll see Ace Attorney. If people want to see Security Breach, I'll do Security Breach. Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts. Dreamlight Valley, whatever it is. We can change up the pace. So, like, the ball is in your guys' court. So, later that evening, Andrew was back at home, sitting with his aunt and uncle, eating dinner as they had the TV on. Uncle Paul was channel surfing and stopped at the news to see a certain green, black, and red web slinger on screen. Whoa, looks like a new hero's on the streets. A new kid on the block. A new kid on the block. Probably a rookie or fresh blood for S.H.I.E.L.D. or Stark's initiative. Probably not, I'm guessing, but what's wrong with one sticking out for the little guys? No, nothing, I'm just making observation. Another hero in New York City. He smirks. Well, I'm all for him. The volume on the TV is a bit turned up to hear the quick interview. Reporter, excuse me, sir. Can we get a name before you leave? The name's Spider-Star, and catch you on the flip side. New York, as he leaps into the air and began web-slinging. Well, there you have it, a name to the face of our hero. At the Howard's residence, fortunately for Richard, he was also able to catch this on at this time after he got home from work. Spider-Star, he pondered in his mind as he thought. As he pondered in his mind, as he might have an idea, as he grabbed his phone and dialed the number. Barbara, I need footage of the facility from last night and 2 nights ago. I think I found ourselves my ticket back into the race. The next day, March 20th, Andrew was heading to the studio as he was on the phone with Freddie. He fortunately had the speaker on and was able to do it hands-free as they discussed about the new hero in town. So what do you think of this new guy in town? He's cool, but my dad isn't like his #1 fan. How so? Him and one of his associates were and have been on the phone this morning talking about he might have been the riffraff in the green hoodie from a few nights ago. Oh shit, there's a chance they might have seen my face on the cameras. Riffraff? What happened? Someone tried to steal info from my dad. Don't know what, but he theorizes it might have to do with his missing spider and this new hero. Hope he doesn't become a hater. You and me both, bro. As he pulled up to the studio, someone stood there by his parking spot, awaiting for him. All right, Fred, I gotta go to work. And slash my internship. Plus, Vanessa is waiting for me. Aw, look at you, Romeo. Fred! What? I'm genuinely proud. I genuinely am proud of you. I'm happy for you. Thanks. That means a lot. Of course. Now, go treat her right and good luck on your date. Thanks, Freddy. Talk to you later. They both said goodbye, and Andrew hung up. He got out of his car, and Vanessa gave him a nice warm hug. Flattered and surprised, Andy took the hug and hugs her back. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited to see you. Was that too much? Worried that a hug and physical contact was too early. No, not at all. I enjoyed that. She smiles back. I'm just excited for our date tonight. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You know, I haven't been on a date in some time. A lot of guys in the past, well, they saw me as one thing for one thing only. One thing only. Andrew slowly placed his arm on her back as they walked to her studio room first, rubbing her back, back and forth. You don't have to tell me anymore. If it's uncomfortable for you, just know that I'm here for you. If you need anything, heck, just as a hypothetical sense, if we don't work out, I still will be here for you if you ever need it. It was a bit clear that Vanessa was trying to hold back her tears, as her voice was starting to sound soft and a bit choked up. I appreciate that. She hugs him and stops in the middle of the hallway. Andrew hugs her back. As she wipes away her tears, you know, I can get to my room from here. I don't want you to be late. I insist, with a smile. Let's go. Once they reach her room, well, I'll be seeing you later then. You know it. I'll come get you around 6:30 for dinner, and then movie. He gave a warm, welcome smile. Can I ask you something? Sure. Can I get another hug? Of course. She approached as he approached Vanessa and giving her such a warm and soft embrace. After that, she went in her room and looked behind as Andrew stood there, and a few minutes later Andy started heading on to his room when suddenly, Andrew! Oh no, I'm going to get the I'm late and Steven is probably getting frustrated with me speech. You scored a date with that girl? I see you. A bit surprised for a sec, then I acted natural. Yeah, why? You lucky dog. I can't believe I'm saying this, but good on you. Thanks, Jared. The two of them started to head to where they needed to be as they were walking. Does this mean you have a newfound respect for me? Don't push it, Williams. Alright, It was worth a shot. That was a close one, but I do feel bad for Vanessa. Whatever she's been through, whatever is going on in her head. However, I want to be there for her. Make sure she knows that she can count on me. She needs a comforting hug, or a shoulder to cry on, or even someone to love her. I mean, whatever happened, I can somewhat understand. Finding that hope in the world and that special someone can be very, very hard. But I hope it all goes well for us because I want to be hers. I hope I can be that special person for her. Later that day, it was 5:30 p.m. and he was at least putting on a nice navy blue button-down polo shirt. He got out of the bathroom after a nice shower and combing/brushing his hair. So, you nervous? Kinda. I'm just trying to remain calm and confident, Aunt Elaine. That's all you need, Drew. The 2 C's. And if you throw in a 3rd C, Paul! Give him a soft jab/tap. What? I was telling him not to throw in a 3rd one. He doesn't need to use a third C until another 3, maybe 4 years. Feeling a bit awkward and embarrassed. Okay, well, I'm heading out. As he started to head downstairs, and his aunt and uncle slowly following. You got your keys? Yep. Got that breath mint? He teased. Do you? He teased back. Elaine chuckled. You deserved that. You deserved that. Well, wish me luck, and I love you both. They both closed the door. Yeah, I don't know why I wrote it like that. That's weird. And Elaine, hey, looks back at him. We love you too, and your parents would be happy for you. He smiles at them and closes the door, heading out to go pick up Vanessa. Jesus. Mouth cannot mouth right now. It's 6:16. Andrew arrived at the Ramirez residence and rung. Oh my god, I forgot about this shit. Hold on. Let me check something real quick. Did I do something? Did I do what I think I did? No, I didn't. Okay, never mind. No, I didn't. Oh, I just realized. Oh, oof. I just realized. I totally forgot. It's okay. I'll figure it out. I just remembered I wrote, so with Vanessa's parents, not that it's a big deal, but real quick, I want to say them briefly, that I wrote two different verses, or two different, sentences for them. Like, for whenever they spoke, I had one for English and I had one for Spanish. So, yeah, we'll never mind. Don't listen to this. Ignore this. Cut this out. He rung the doorbell and was greeted by her mother, Eliza Ramirez, short for Elizabeth, a tiny bit shorter than Andrew, but had very dark hair and had a reddish maroon glasses. Hello, Mrs. Ramirez. I'm Andrew. Whether Vanessa has told you about me or not. She has, she said with a smirk, but pleasure to meet you, as he gave a handshake to Eliza, nice, firm, and gentlemanlike, to Vanessa's mom. And out of the corner was Roberto Ramirez, a.k.a. Bobby Ramirez. Hello, good sir. He gave Andrew an even more firm handshake. Well, you got quite the grip there for your size, he teased. I was going to say the same thing to you. Is your daughter ready? You have no idea how good my grip is, sir. And not a moment too soon, Vanessa came down out of her room, wearing a pink and yellow floral top. If you look closely, there are some roses and sunflowers in the patterns. She approached Andrew with a smile. Wow, you look great. Thank you. She looks over at Andrew's car and back at him. You ready? He nods, and then got in the car and began to drive as they were driving. Cruising down the road, heading to the dinner. First, can I be honest? Of course, I don't see why not. I didn't want you meeting my folks tonight, but they insisted on doing so. What's wrong with that? I just don't want you to feel uncomfortable and feel like everything's all rushed. Like it's moving too fast. I think it's fine. I mean, after a few dates, I can have a proper introduction. I'd like that. Once they arrived at dinner, it was a nice sit-down restaurant. Andrew made a reservation for. It had a comfortable seating, fortunately for them, as they laughed and smiled and even sharing some personal stuff too, to open new doors and walls and windows. Mind if I ask you, Andrew? Vanessa, sweetie, you don't need to keep asking if I mind. Vanessa tried to hold back her blushing after he said sweetie. I don't mind you asking me anything. I'm an open book for you. Okay. You talk a lot about your aunt and uncle. Did something happen to your parents? He took a small pause. Actually, that's fine. They were actors. Hence my love for movies. And I wanted to be in the business. They were heading to work. My aunt and uncle babysat me as usual. And I had just turned 4 after an entire day gone by. They didn't come back. There was an accident while on set shooting something. I found out later on. I'm so sorry. She placed her hand on top of his. Do you or your parents or your aunt or uncle know what was caused the accident? He placed his second hand on top of her hand. His left was on her bottom. What was on the bottom? Then Vanessa's right. Then Vanessa. He placed his second hand on top of her hand. His left was on the bottom. Then Vanessa's right. Then Andrew's right. And he shook his head no. No one found any real trace or footage of what caused it, and no one from the set, like the rest of the cast or crew, haven't come forward on who was there that night and day. Just the news reporting it. Just the news reporting Mr. and Mrs. Williams found dead on site. No remains found of their bodies, but more on this story. Vanessa. No, actually, why did I say Vanessa? That's just. Never mind. Anyways, let me shut up. You can stop if you want. I'm sorry I made this touchy. He shook his head no. It's fine, Vanessa. Not many have asked, but I'm glad you wanted to know, and they were the best parents I could have asked for, he said with a brave smile. I had a lot of memories of them for a 3-year-old / 4-year-old at the time. My mom teaching me how to draw and people make mistakes, while Dad made me laugh and told me to have fun, even when the world is or was doom and gloom. The check came by and Andrew had picked it up. Are you sure you're okay to do it? He nodded yes with confidence. Yeah, I want to take care of this. No problem. Okay, but let me handle the movie. Nope, I got that too. She smirks. That's not fair. What if I wanted to pay for the movie? He smirks back. Well, too bad. She gave a face that looked annoyed at Andrew, but she actually wasn't mad. Are you actually, or is this something else that I need to be aware of? I honestly can't tell now, because I noticed she did one time this same thing, but she actually wasn't angry. Hopefully this helps ease tension, maybe. She rolls her eyes and smirks a bit. No, I'm not actually mad, she smiles, but I am paying for the movie. No ifs, ands, or buts. She wanted her smile more, appearing more innocent and irresistible. He chuckles. She has me there, but I guess that is how you play chess, not checkers. They arrive at the movie. Actually, okay, that my thing is working. For a second, I thought my volume was muted. I was like, what? Never mind. They arrived at the movie theater as they were going to see Sing 2. Vanessa courteously paid for the movie and snacks. They got one medium popcorn. Andrew also junior mints, and Vanessa got gummy bears. She got a Coke and he got a lemonade. After they got to their seats, plus 10 to 15 minutes of previews, once the movie began to start, he reached over, putting his hand over her hand, and held it gently. She smiled at him for doing so. You really like holding me, don't you? I like feeling your touch, and I want you to feel like I'm affectionate to you in every way. Physically, verbal, emotionally, if that's okay. I don't mind. It's different, but it feels good. He smiles, kissed her hand, and then they both faced the movie. Oh, that's something else. After the movie, it was a nice drive dropping off Vanessa. The air was soft and flowing, as even though it was quiet, it was still filled with thoughts of love. I really felt this was one of the best times for me. I mean, look at her! The way she sits, looking at me with such a sweet and delicate smile. Eyes that shine brighter than stars. Hair so luscious. And what a personality, too. The best quality. Someone that's very sweet and gentle, but also kind of dorky and silly. It's cute. I feel such a strong connection with her that both words can and can't describe. Once they arrived, it was so close to 9:30, closer to 10 p.m. Thank you again, Vanessa. No, thank you, she smiled. And there's that smile again, I can't resist. For such a wonderful evening. I know that I may seem like it, but I'm not great with expressing, or haven't been for some time, but you bring that out of me. Thank you again. She unbuckled, got out of the car, went to the window, and gave him a kiss. This time it was on the lips. It was not too long, but not too short. It was just right in the middle ground type kiss. Sweet and tender. Be careful getting home. I love you, he blushed. I know I meant to say that, but not out loud. I hope it's not rushing. She gave a slight giggle. I love you too. She walked away and headed inside. Phew! Thank God. I also thank God she said it back. And Andrew started the car and drove away. And I think, damn, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I think that'll do fine for today, if I'm being honest, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all ages and of all things, I guess. But I will at least give you guys a couple of minutes if you want to ask me anything or suggest anything to me or request anything to me, and I will look into it. So I would appreciate that very, very, very much. Hopefully. I hope. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, actually. You reminded me. Thank you, Mage. Nice. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This will definitely be a multiple part series because I have no idea how many it will take us to do for year 1, but it'll be definitely a journey. Because the last chapter we just finished up was chapter 12. So, it's gonna maybe take us a little while. I could see this maybe being like 4 parts, maybe 5 parts maximum, maybe even 6, I don't know. We'll see what happens, people. We shall see. Also, thank you for sharing everything. I appreciate that. Let me see. Oh my god, that's funny. That's funny! Oh my god, that's funny! I love that. Okay, I gotta send you guys, I gotta show one of you guys this after I'm done. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh god. Shout out. No, actually not a shout out. Well, no, it's okay. No, I don't know. Anyways, like I said, whoever is still here, leave some questions. Maybe we'll do a quick little like suggestions, requests, anything you guys want to add. It doesn't have to be about the story. I mean, if you got questions about the story, great. If you don't, it could be about something completely out of left field, which is fine with me. But I will give you guys a couple minutes and we will wrap up after that. And I have no idea when we'll stream again because tomorrow I, thank God, got myself a shift for work because this week has been a rough week for work because I only had 1 day to work, but then they asked me, can you come in? And I was like, yeah, I'll take the hours. It's kind of shit hours, but I'll take the hours. So I'll be honest about that. Yeah, they only said something about tomorrow, which is fine. So tomorrow and then Wednesday at work and the rest of the week I have off because I have things I'll be doing and such. So that will happen. Wait, hold on. Yeah. But yeah, I hope, I'm glad you guys liked this so far. We will definitely be doing more. I don't know when, but we will be definitely doing more, for sure. For sure, man, for sure. But I appreciate all of you that have tuned in so far. But, this might not be everyone's cup of tea, which is fine. And I'm okay with that. I wanted to see how people thought of it, and I'm glad, you know, at least it got something. So that's great. I'm glad. At least it's something. I don't know what will be next in terms of videos right now because right now I don't know. They'll be short scheduled. I have short scheduled for this month. I know for a fact. I just know that what we'll do is right now, since I'm finishing up a video, I'm trying to schedule for March Marvel Madness. So actually I'll say what this is. So I there won't be videos for a little bit because, well, it's not gonna be forever, but there'll be a brief little like break of videos because right now I want to finish editing this review I have for Marvel Zombies. I recorded my review for Marvel Zombies back in like October or November of 2025, and then because of other things got in the way in the holidays and other videos I was doing, like my 1000th video and other stuff I was working on, I was like, oh shit. I was like, this review that I wanted to put out early in 2025 is going to have to be postponed. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to schedule it for March Marvel Madness. It'll be like one of the first reviews for March Marvel Madness. So that's what will happen for that. And I'm going to finish that video up. And once that video is up and I have that scheduled, I will have, like, I'm thinking of doing... Actually, what do I feel like doing? There's a few things I have in mind I could do. I do want to do a review for Pulp Fiction because I watched Pulp Fiction, or rewatched it with my friends when Jaden was over here, which that was a really good time. That was great. It was great watching that with not only with, you know, with friends, but also what's great about it is that seeing the initial reactions from Anthony, aka I don't think he's watching this, but Anthony, if you're watching this, bro, your reaction was great. Shout out to DCL Vortex, I think his name is on YouTube. I think that's it. Yeah, but that was such a hoot. Like him reacting, and like his first initial reaction was us watching Pulp Fiction for the first time, all three of us together. It was so great when we were watching that, and he's like, that happened and this happened there, and I'm like, yup. And he's like, yo. I was like, that was so awesome to see, because like Pulp Fiction is such an iconic movie that it's so refreshing and so shocking that you find people that have never seen the movie. So that is definitely a movie I'd like to review. There's a few top 10s I have in mind, so we'll see. I have no idea when these will be up, but I will work on these probably after next week, because this week, the rest of this week is going to be me doing stuff, me working, me doing things. I might stream Friday. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. I think maybe, but this weekend I have stuff I'm doing. I'll be out taking care of some things, some personal matters, but that's it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have something up for you guys. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. It all depends. I don't know. There might be a vlog. There might not. There probably won't be, because maybe there won't be a lot for us to really do. But nonetheless, that is okay if we do or don't. But anyways, we'll be doing stuff anyways that's very, you know, kind of like stuff we gotta take care of. But yeah, I'll give you guys 2 more minutes. Mage, if you got something to ask me now. I know you can literally ask me later, but if you want something you want me to ask on stream, ask me it now, or forever hold your peace. Or if anyone else wants to ask me something and wants to ask me it during the live stream, ask me now, or forever hold your peace. So yeah, that's that for that. But like I said, I have no idea what will be if I stream hypothetically on Friday. I have no idea what it will be. I know for a fact it will be something. If I stream, it'll be something. I don't know what though. It'll be, well, actually, like I said, I'll leave it to you guys. Comment, get people to share the video, and get some comments so we can get some votes on what should be the next stream. Like, should we see another part? Do you guys want to see another a second part to this soon rather than later? Do you want Security Breach? Do you want Dream Drop Distance? Do you want Ace Attorney? Do you want Dreamlight Valley? I want to see some votes in the comments, guys. I'd appreciate it very, 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 very much before Friday. If I stream Friday. If I don't stream Friday, then I'll do that stream whenever I can, which will probably be, I don't know, sometime maybe the end of this month or next month. We shall see. Let me see. Actually, did I get my schedule for today? I'm curious. I don't know if it actually is out. I'll give you guys another minute. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. Oh my fucking... Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add. Like, I don't know if you were like, oh, I got another question, you know? I don't know. Okay. We're not going to talk about my schedule for next week because, wow. That's... Wow. I'm just putting this out here. I'm just putting this out here. I'm just putting this out here that this is just making me not want to work with them anymore. And that's that. But anywho, it's literally, so he only has one suit. There's only been one suit so far in his story, and it's just the one that you guys see frequently. Like the one you guys see in my thumbnails, the one that is my profile picture. That is his suit. That is made from, well, actually, I know it looks very much like a suit, but it's made from, like, it looks like it's, I literally, like... Yeah, it's made of it's like a spandex. He made like a hoodie. He made, you know, it's not a hoodie, but like you get the idea. Like it's made like of like a spandex looking kind of attire. Kind of it looks like that. That's what's like the profile you see of my character. That is basically just something he sewed up together. Like he sewed it and he had a sewing machine. He incorporated the hoodie because he made a hoodie into it. At first it was just, you know, no hoodie, but then he decided to add the hood to it. You know, it's just all just sewed together like a spandex suit, basically. And there's only been one suit so far. There's only been one suit, and I don't really have any plans to give him any other suits. I don't know. I don't see like any really changes or big improvements to the suits, to be honest, because I just like that design so much that I'm very biased. I don't want to do another design. But also, I have not had a reason for him to change up his suit. Because, like, even if it gets battle damage, he can just sew it up and just fix it. You know what I mean? How he get the parts to make the suit? I mean, he had his hoodie. So he took parts from his hoodie and probably took other stuff to make it look spandexy. I'm not sure where you get spandex, but it's like it's adjacent to spandex is what I'm thinking. I never thought of the inner workings of his suit. I just imagined it as he sewed it up together and that was pretty much it. But that's just my thought process on that. I'll give you guys a few more minutes and then that'll be it. Unless, actually, 2 more minutes. That's it. 2 minutes and we'll wrap up. And I think that sounds like a fair deal. So, yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that really is interesting to me. Sorry, I'm looking at my schedule and that really not puts like a bitter taste in my mouth, but I'm like, really? Like, I don't know. I think that's interesting. Well, I know what I'll be doing, though. Anyways, though, people, I'll give you guys 2 more minutes, and if you guys have anything else to ask me, let me know. And I'd appreciate that. But I think, if I remember correctly, in terms of, like, the origins and the videos that we've done for Spider-Star's universe, we've done, like, origins on... Well, we've done so far we've done origins on several different characters. Because... Hang on. We've done several different characters throughout different years, because we've done, there's been like people from year 1, year 2, year 3, there's been some from year 4 and so forth. So there has not been a specific, you know, whatever. I mean, actually, yeah, I guess, because whatchamacallit, Silver Sabretooth is from year 1, Wildcat's from year 2, Malware's from year 2. Technically, Ultimax isn't really, like... Well, yeah, I guess there's not really an origin. Like, his origin's really not mentioned a lot in, but he is featured in year 2, which we'll see later on. Mother Swarm is year 2. Mammoth is year 2. Night Sister is, like, year 3, year 4. Heretic is year 2. Anarchy is year 3. Crimson Cobra is year 1. I'm trying to think. Cyberwolf is like year 4, year 5. Mr. Dread's Mr. Dread's year 2, and then I have another Origins that'll be like a character that's gonna be introduced in year like 4, 5. So yeah. What's stopping the spider? No, what's stopping the stew from being completely destroyed? I don't know. That's a really good question, if I'm being honest. I didn't think of such a thing like that. I mean, it'll get I think it'll get like worn out, wear and tear, you know, have a few rips here and there. But for it to get completely destroyed, that's a great question, because I have no idea. But if hypothetically it ever does get destroyed completely, my only thing I can think of is that it wouldn't really... It would just be fixed. It'd basically... Street Shark? What Street Shark? What are you talking about? What do you mean? What are you on about? I didn't say anything about Street Sharks. I ain't saying anything about that yet. What are you talking about? How do you know? How do you know? I don't remember saying anything about them yet. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, people, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to Oscars every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every day, if not every week. Share the video with family, friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave suggestions down in the comments. You name it, I'll look to do as best as possible. For all of you that did tune in during the live streams, I appreciate it, because you know what? And you want to know why I appreciate it? Because not only were you guys here, and you guys are wonderful people, and you guys are awesome, but also, for any of you that tuned in and hung around during the chat and asked questions, conversed and all, I get to shout out to you, all of you, and give you guys shout outs. So if you ever want to be appeared in a stream, just say hi, and then you get to be mentioned by name. So, Mage was here, Tom was here, Brandon was here, Pyro Gun was here, Batty was here, and I think that was everybody that was here. But still, I appreciate that. And I think what I say for the annotations, let me check one more time. The annotations would be whatchamacallit. So once this stream becomes a video, I will have annotations for my, I think I'll have it for my channel up. Either I'll have my channel update or my 1000th video in one corner. In the other corner will be the Spider-Man series we did for the Insomniac PS4 game. So that way, if you guys want to see that entire series, we completed the story, we did the DLC. The DLC was a pain in the ass, but it was great still nonetheless. There will be the lore for Spider-Star, like the videos we've done so far. If you want to check out, hey, what are these villains? What's a heretic, you know? Like, if you want to know and find out and look for yourself, by all means. And it was, I think I wanted to add, hold on, Spider-Star's lore, Spider-Man playlist, channel update, or my 1000th video. And I think I'm gonna add the, if you want to check out the last video we did, we had, Tom and I, we played Disney Speedstorm just for fun, and because Tom was like, hey, let's record a video, and I was like, sure, alright. It went a lot longer than I expected, but hey, what the hell, honestly. But I'll have that there as well. But like I said, I'm not sure when I'll stream again, but it may be Friday, it may not. If you guys want to see a stream again, seriously, vote and get those comments vote and get those comments in. Get those comments in. I need to see votes of like, what will we do? Do you guys want to see a part 2 sooner rather than later? Do you want to see Security Breach, Ace Attorney, Dreamlight Valley, Dream Drop Distance? Or do you guys want to see something else? Because I have other games we can play. Do you want to see Rivals? Because we have Marvel Rivals or whatever else. We have a plethora to go through. Or should we just do something else, you know? The sky is the limit. It is your guys' ball in your court. So I would appreciate that before Friday. If not, next week we'll probably stream. We'll see. But I will be editing my Marvel Zombies review, and then once that's done, I will have a video for you guys. I will figure out what it will be, but it'll be probably a review for either Pulp Fiction. I have 2 top 10s in mind I'll do, or it'll be something else. But thank you guys so much for watching. Yes, I did do a video. Literally, go check it out right after this. Go check it out right after this, Mage, and anyone else that wants to know. Go check it out. Go check it out right after this. Seriously, go check it out. Seriously, go check it out. I appreciate it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time.